Cipher, and she's just like, yeah. And he's like, room, Cipher.
Stop.
And Frankie's over there like, super sad.
Oh, no. Okay, that's why I don't like it. It is only, they are canon. Everyone else is.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Volume 1, the anime and manga podcast, where we highlight and discuss new series each week. But today we are back again with more Done Piece, which means that my name is Josh Lucy Michaels. It is so hard to smile with this beard on. And today I am joined by
Mehgan, Robbie Land Perrine.
Roboland.
I don't know how they say it. You know, the lands.
Yeah, part of the Uso Landers.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Volume 1. Today, we are back again to talk about another One Piece arc, and not just any One Piece arc. We are finally at Dressrosa.
Finally.
It's
finally time.
Today, we're going to be talking about chapters 700 through 734. This is our part 1 of 3 videos that'll be coming out on this arc. We want to give time to everything. But before we start diving into the events of Dressrosa, let's get to some housekeeping stuff on the agenda.
Okay.
It is so hard to maneuver in all this stuff. I have my straw hat here behind me.
You're fighting for your life just like Lucy was fighting in the ring.
You're absolutely right.
You thought he was just struggling because there were powerful people. No, he was struggling because he had a helmet and a beard on.
I have so much more respect for Luffy now after fighting in a fake beard, dude.
Lucy,
sorry. Lucy, I'm home. And it's no coincidence either that gladiator's name was Ricky either, okay?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
You have Lucy and Ricky.
That's cute.
Yeah.
And then instead of everyone saying, I love Lucy, I hate Lucy.
Yeah, I hate Lucy.
Yeah.
So, some housekeeping stuff real quick up top. We released in our previous episode, Punk Hazard Part 2, a list. We posted it on our community tab as well, just letting people know how many videos we were planning on breaking the upcoming arcs into. And we had a lot of people reach out and say that everything looked good except for the Reverie arc. Even though it is only 6 chapters long, there was a lot of people suggesting that we split it up into its own separate video, and asking you shall receive. We're taking your word for it. This is our first time reading through this, so we don't know. You know that there's a lot that's going to be unfolding in the Reverie, a lot to unpack. So we're taking your word for it, and we are going to be dedicating a separate video just to that small arc. The only other thing I wanted to clear up before we get to our highlighted comment of the day from the previous episode is there were a lot of people also wanting to point out and just be clear or make sure that we were clear on the whole Momo Devil Fruit situation. There was a lot of people that were saying that it is very important to remember that Momo ate a devil fruit, an artificial devil fruit that Vegapunk made, not Caesar. Caesar was making and is making Smile, which is different than what, or helping Doflamingo manufacture Smile, which is different from this devil fruit. This devil fruit was seemingly one of the only Vegapunk created devil fruits. And we know Vegapunk is a far better scientist than Caesar. So the implications for what that could even mean have my brain feeling all tickly.
I know. And when you think about when you think about Kaido and you think about the army that he's making, those are all basically Smile devil fruit users now.
Right.
I don't know who, if anyone has been given also a Vegapunk fruit, or are they all Smiles now? But thinking about that, it's like, yeah, it was pretty easily accessible for Momo to get that.
Yeah, I mean, it was
really important thing.
Yeah, he just had to break a little bit of glass to get that thing, the most valuable thing.
No security. It really nothing to stop him. If it wasn't on the roster, he was just under the radar.
Yeah, I mean, this just opens up so many theories I have going forward now that he is going to have different abilities or be able to do things that the other Caesar clown devil fruit users or artificial devil fruit users are not able to do. He's got that superhuman artificial devil fruit, best.
And I wonder if
He's got that, I can't believe it's not devil fruit.
I wonder if it's only dragon? Like if he's the only dragon devil fruit user?
I don't know. That's something we theorized in our last video, that if you're manufacturing these devil fruits, do they follow the same rules that a real devil fruit does? Can you manufacture multiple of the same ones, or do they follow the same rules? We will find out as it unfolds.
Hopefully.
The last thing we want to do before we start going through this arc beat by beat is get to our highlighted comment of the day, and this comment comes from Miles Claiborne. Woo! Shout out Miles Claiborne, who has their icon is a pun icon, and every time I see a pun icon, I get taken back to a dark place, dude.
It makes me happy, but also very, very deeply sad.
But I do love it. I love the icon. Miles Claiborne's comment is about the devil fruit transfer thing. There was a really fun theory in the community around these days about it. So, when Monet dies, there are these snow bunnies that run across the water outside. And the theory was that it was her devil fruit looking for a new host. And while the closest fruit would be located in Nami's tangerine grove. We all thought Nami would be getting Monet's devil fruit power. Even though I don't think it'll happen anymore, I still kind of like this theory, though. This, again, I thought this was so cool. There was another comment that I was looking for and wanted to highlight too, just talking about the parallels from the New World to here. I'll get more into that as we start talking about our general thoughts on what we read so far. But this opens up, so many other things and theories to be speculated on, because I saw somewhere that the events apparently coming up, Dressrosa, even going into Zhao, and I could be mistaken, but I heard that the events that take place in the next couple of arcs transpire over the course of days, canonically, in One Piece time. There's just so many things happening.
Yeah, because I think they're the tea party that happens in 3 days.
Right.
From where we are.
Right. So, I mean, even though it feels like such a long time, it is very possible for that devil fruit to still be chilling amongst the tangerines in the tangerine grove. I love that theory because I love the idea of a Straw Hat eventually getting a devil fruit.
I like that idea too, and it was funny when Luffy in Dressrosa offered it to Frankie, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I'd rather swim."
Oh yeah.
And that was so funny to me because I'm like, Frankie, you could be like a cyborg and have fire abilities, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good."
He's like, "Nah, I can already shoot fire out of my mouth, and I'd like to keep swimming if that's okay with you, Lucy."
I mean, he's a shipwright. He's, if he falls in, he's got to go under to do some.
He's got to go under to do some maintenance.
Yeah, so there's no way that would not be plausible. But Nami, on the other hand, because Monet's power, remind me, was like snow or
it was snow. So that is another reason why I think this theory had a lot of credit, or had a lot of people thought that it had a lot of, I'm struggling to find the word, but merit, I guess, because it would fit with her weather abilities, right? Snow fits with everything else she can do when she manipulates the weather. So it would make sense for her to have a devil fruit ability like that, be very on brand for her.
Yeah.
But just to see eventually even Sanji or Zoro getting a devil fruit, that would be fucking crazy. That would be so crazy.
Yeah, Zoro would be,
or even Usopp. But Usopp, that would take away some of Usopp's charm, I think.
That's what I think. And I also think that about Nami and Sanji and Zoro. I mean, they have Sanji and Zoro are they're on a different level than just being human. Nami's and Usopp's kind of similar, and they use their abilities with their weapons and things that they learned, picked up on. But I do find that appealing, that there are a couple, I don't want to say normies, but just regular human people amongst these crazy people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I love that too. And I think part of it, depending on the Straw Hat, part of it would take away from just how cool they already are. But
how much cooler they can be.
Yeah. But Dressrosa. Before we go through beat by beat, we're going to give some of our general thoughts on what we read. And I just have to say, out of the gate, what an amazing start to an arc. This was fucking epic. This might be one of the best openings to an arc that I can remember reading since Water 7. And it feels similar to Water 7 to me in a lot of ways because of just how much it seems to be setting up. It seems to be setting up things that are still being dealt with even now, currently in the manga. And it we've had other people say that it's better than Wano. People are saying that people are going back and forth in preparation for this episode. People were telling us like, oh yeah, it's better than Wano. And some people were like, nah, Wano's better. And I mean, just that alone makes me so excited to finish it. And already just getting off to such a great start. Like, I mean, yeah, I can't imagine where it's going to go.
We're not even halfway through.
I know, it's fucking
insane.
Crazy.
And yeah, everything they've set up, everything that they've released, everything that they've like brought to light. I mean, Doflamingo is definitely becoming like my favorite antagonist of the series.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, you have these other people that are doing bad stuff, but he is just like the epitome of bad stuff. Like he is really, really not a good guy. But he's like, again, so alluring, so charming, so like it commands the page. Like I like him as a character so much, and I'm so excited to see like his backstory and see, what that 13 years, I think Law said, like, I want to get you back for 13 years. I want to see that flushed out. And just Dressrosa as an island in general, like really, really cool. I like the mystery behind the toys. And I mean, I kind of was like, I have a feeling this is it.
Yeah.
But all of the, Donquixote family is like so sick. All of their character designs are so sick.
Mm-hmm.
And we were introduced to a lot of characters, and for me, like it was a bit overwhelming in the beginning because it was like, okay, I want to see Lucy fight more. I feel like I'm seeing these like one-off fights, and it wasn't bad at all. But I was a bit overwhelmed, and I was like, oh, I haven't felt that overwhelmed since maybe like Skypiea and Fishman Island were a different kind of overwhelming because you were getting to know the world. This was overwhelming because I was like, okay, these people are fighting now. Okay, so those people are going to fight next, and then we're going to go back to them, and then, oh, the Straw Hats are over here. Okay, so there Zoro's okay, so and it was just like, but it was just boom, like every page, like everyone's doing something different. Everyone has a different task to play. So that was a lot, but once we started getting closer to the end where we were reading, it was like everyone was kind of coming together. Everyone kind of had a general plan. At first, they were kind of, on their own trying to figure everything out.
As they are oftentimes.
But this felt like, because with everything else on top of that, all of the Coliseum stuff was like even more like everyone's gone. Everyone's doing their own thing. But I enjoyed it so much. I loved everything about the first part of this.
Yeah, same. I mean, I mentioned Water 7 in the beginning, but I also feel like I got a similar feeling at times, during points throughout, a similar feeling that I got when I was reading Alabasta. Something about it, like it gave me
I literally wrote that and I was like, yeah, but this is way worse.
I mean, like in terms of like, you mean worse in terms of like it being overwhelming?
No. I mean like worse, like their situation.
Oh, their situation being worse.
Yeah, because Crocodile, I mean, he was doing bad stuff, but like slavery, like
the stakes are a lot higher for sure. I mean, we're in the new world, and that's why I wanted to find that comment from that person who said, just it's how interesting the parallels are between the Grand Line versus the new world. Similar to Alabasta fighting a warlord, Crocodile now in a similar situation with a king that's been taken down in a similar way or been made to look like a bad guy in a similar way now against, Doflamingo. And there were so many other parallels that they pointed out all throughout both parts, and it was kind of shocking. And maybe I'll go through and try to find it, but it's on our Punk Hazard, I think either part 1 or part 2 video if you want to try to find it for yourself. Anyway, I thought this arc was absolutely amazing, and what I liked about it so much is that we're finally getting to see the new world. When we covered Fishman Island, when we went through Fishman Island, like we were in a different society. We were in a different country, a different place, so removed from the world. And after that, we go to Punk Hazard, which is an island that literally shouldn't exist and doesn't exist and is like, thought to be uninhabitable. So we really aren't getting to see much of what has been happening and transpiring in the state of the new world after these 2 years. Yet here we are in Dressrosa, like thrust into it. And we're getting to see how those gaps, those power gaps have been filled. We're meeting new people, new admirals. We're meeting, all like this whole cast of characters at the Coliseum as well. But so many characters are coming back. Bellamy is coming back. It's just, this is like what I love about One Piece. This arc and how it started is like peak One Piece to me. It's what I love about it, introducing and expanding on this world and its history and sprinkling throughout it more lore and raising even bigger questions, finding out more about Doflamingo and who he is and how he's tied into all of this, these reveals and again, expansion of the new world. And now it feels like we're in it. Now it feels like we're here. And now it feels like all these big players, including Law, but also including Big Mom, are all coming together and we're starting, like we're in the shit now. And that's what I mean about it feeling like Water 7 too, is like, they were starting. The Water 7 was the start of them getting into some major shit.
Into the shit.
And that's what, you can quote me. Dressrosa
into the shit on the ship.
Into the shit on the ship. And they're getting into some major shit right now.
Yeah,
they're about to be.
Water 7 was the first time they kind of like openly declared their war against like the world government with like shooting down that flag. And here, I mean, it's like, they're just, everything has changed since then. It's crazy how much has changed since then. And again, how much they've grown and how much they kind of have to like step up, like to be able to even like try to defeat Doflamingo. Like he seems like so strong. And again, like everything, all the new devil fruit powers that we get to see, which I always love to see. They're always so fun and creative. Yeah. Like the art fruit.
Love it.
Amazing.
I love even a lot of the abilities we got to see in the Coliseum fights. That's kind of what I really liked about it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just going up from here. It hasn't stopped. Just going
and you
up.
talked about the Straw Hats, stepping up and they have to really like deliver. I mean, we saw so many cool moments in this arc from Frankie and Nami, all of them, every single one of them. But Frankie and Nami like really stood out to me for having these like really powerful moments where they stepped up into these roles and really like, they both had these like fucking boss bitch moments where Frankie, talked about, Law's plan and wanting to help Law because they're in this alliance, but at the same time, not being able to thwart these other creatures' plan that they find and they meet later. Mm-hmm. All these people who have worked so hard to get to this day where they can overthrow this person. He's like, I don't care what you say, Luffy. Like, this is something that I'm going to do. And that was just such an awesome moment for Frankie. And of course, Luffy supports him fully. Nami, too, with the 3-card chapter. Yeah. Saying like, sure, we could go back, we could head back, but we have to go to Zao because we hold 3 cards. And I mean, she was just, again, like so commanding in that moment and so strong in that moment. And Frankie, too, just like, man, I was so fucking jazzed for them when I was, reading these moments. I was like, fuck you, like tell him, Frankie, like go off, Frankie, do your shit, Frankie, go off, Nami, do your shit, Nami, like, and even Sanji, it's fucking turned into a whole crazy meme on this channel where people think that we fucking hate Sanji. Maybe,
honestly, he had really good moments in this.
He had solid, awesome moments, and this is the Sanji that I love. Even the moments where he was, a little simpy. I mean, it wasn't overly done or it wasn't done to nauseam. It was done really well, and it was balanced between those moments and these like super epic, awesome moments at the same time.
Yeah, and it was like, usually the simpiness I was like shipping them. I was like, I hope Sanji actually like gets to be with her. Like, I don't know, but I was like, to get to a point where I was like, oh my God, this is actually so cute that someone's actually giving him the time of day like this. Like, I felt good for Sanji in this first part. I'm excited to see again where he goes. Hopefully, there's gonna be moments, of course, but I feel like we're finally getting more of that like Sanji we used to know.
Yes. It was so refreshing, and I feel like everybody had these like really cool moments. And again, like I said, just the new characters we got to meet, the power vacuums that have been filled, and so many, like we've talked about Oda doing this before, where Oda will write things a certain way as to not reveal things, and unless specifically stated, it is never safe to assume that you know what the answer is. And I saw this a lot during this arc, like setting up these mysteries, like setting up who the 7th Warlord is, that seeming to be something that was teased. Like, what is, Rebecca's relationship with like her father and who her father is, because one of the fairies who aren't fairies and are a name that I wrote down but can't remember right now, but we'll remember later. Usopp's trying to ask him a question about, okay, well, like, that would mean that her dad is this person then, right? And the fairy creature keeps going on about this story, and he's like, you're not answering my question. Like, this is what Oda does, where he he kind of makes it feel like it might be a silly moment, but it ends up being a very important thing to remember because it was never specifically stated.
Yeah, and there's also a moment too where like Frankie's asking the toy soldier something and he goes like, oh, must be Vegapunk. And then we just get like a 3-dot like word bubble from him and he doesn't say anything. So that was never confirmed. I think what were they talking about? Some type of like technology or something. I don't think it was the toys necessarily, but it was like, yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
And even, I mean, I'm so excited for towards the end. I mean, we'll talk about it when we talk about it.
We can talk about it a little bit right here too, but God, this is right around the point where we ended, our first reading session. And I have to say,
so much. I shed tears. I shed actual tears. Just the reaction, like I've never seen Luffy face crack like that.
I mean, it was a whole page. And that's the thing, like I had seen that page before and I had seen that reaction and expression before, but I had no idea what he was reacting to. People have used it in thumbnails and all this stuff, but I had never known. I thought like, what could it possibly be that he's reacting to? And now I know, and oh my God, what a touching moment, and a moment that also kind of reinforces and validates some theories that me and you had a while back about Sabo's, oh my God, I burped. Oh my God.
Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
You've been waiting to say that, guys. I don't know how long this helmet and beard is going to last.
God.
It's so hard to function.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh. But this wholesome reunion, this powerful emotional moment, I felt probably this is like top 3 emotional moments for me.
I can't. And it was just so like, again, Oda does this so perfectly where, we did have the Straw Hat reunion after all of those years. And it wasn't like this huge deal. It wasn't like emotional speeches left and right. It was like everyone getting together again. And, he didn't need to have that moment between them because obviously so many things were going on at the time. But we just get, his reaction, him being like, "Whoa, my God, I thought he was dead." And then we get, Sabo's freaking call to
Sabo,
you know who.
Oh, yeah, dude. And that's what I'm saying. That reinforces some theories that we had previously. Like, this was awesome.
And he's emotional, too. He's, like, crying. She's like, "Why are you crying?" And he's like, "I'm not crying." And I was like, fuck, Sabo, where have you been?
Where have you been, dude?
Like,
where have you been and what have you been up to? And how long were you with Dragon? That's what I'm thinking, dude.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
And why now?
I mean, the flame fruit. I mean, this is all crazy too. And this is like, we had kind of tossed around again theories about like, is Ace even really dead? Well, this kind of fucking cements that. Like, it's One Piece, you never know. But this kind of really feels like it's cemented that he is.
I know.
There's no coming back.
I was like looking at the grave, like that, that panel of like the grave, like Whitebeard and Ace's grave. I was like, okay, let me just read all the letters. Let me see if it's like maybe there's a crack open.
Yeah.
I was just like looking for anything because you never know.
Yeah. That moment was so crazy, and it has me, kind of torn. For the first episode, the podcast, the podcast cosplay seemed obvious. But for the second episode, now I'm torn. Now I'm torn between Sabo and Senor Pink.
Oh, yeah. Senor Pink would be awesome.
Yeah.
I really want to do Sugar or Baby 5 or now Koala.
I know.
I mean, it's so hard.
I'm
It's
debating.
so
I'm
difficult.
having an internal struggle right now. I think once we go through it beat by beat, which we're literally moments away from, I'm gonna have to take the beard off too. I can't even move my face. I'm an expressive person. I can't move, but I suffered long enough. And now I fear that it's going to result in the quality of the overall podcast. It'll be in the thumbnail. It'll be at the beginning of the episode. Let me take it off.
You can take it off. You can take it off.
Okay, I'm gonna take it off.
You can take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
Oh my God. I mean, it's just itching my face, itching my nose. Oh my God, that was rough.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I didn't realize it was that much of a struggle for you.
Yeah, I was dying, and now I'm back. Oh God.
Well, at least you don't got a freaking fairy in your B region.
Hey, dude. Hey, watch out. Hey. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Shoot.
Why are you reacting?
All right, you want to start going through it now that I'm free from my
Yes.
shackles?
Yeah, we
And-
better get going because this is going to be a
it's
long
gonna be a long
one.
And I'll put it back on. Maybe I'll be in varying, alternating, maybe between the beard and the helmet. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But this is going to be a long one, so we should start going through it. So many great things happen. And starting the arc off, this is how you know it's going to be a fucking good arc, dude. This is how you know you're in for some fucking world-changing, lore-building shit right here. World-expanding shit right here. When Oda opens up an arc, the way he opens up this arc, he opens it up beautifully with dialogue or narration that says even a great tidal wave that engulfs the town starts off as a tiny ripple lapping against the shore unnoticed. And I'm like, okay, I already know this is gonna be one of the greatest arcs in One Piece of all time, dude. Oda gave it away on the first page.
They had to do it to him.
He had to do it to him. He always has to do it to us.
Sorry.
So everybody in the world is panicking because they got the newspaper that has told them that Doflamingo has stepped down from the Seven Warlords of the Sea. But this is just everybody in the world reacting to it, not everybody on Dressrosa, which we will find out more about why later. But yes, so everybody's freaking out. And we get to see a couple interesting characters reading this newspaper and this information. I do believe that Bonnie was one of them, but for sure we get to see
Bonnie was one of them, and then we have I think Kid too,
and for sure Jinbei.
For sure, Jinbei. Kid is like kind of confused on he's reading that, but also his alliance got out in the paper, and we find out that actually Absalom is the one. He's like TMZ of One Piece. He's always there. He's always got the scoop.
That was, I wasn't sure whether we should say it or not, but I don't know if it's supposed to be a mystery. I went back in preparation for this episode, and it is that Kid calls him like Absalom or something like Ab something. It's calls him something similar to Absalom. But for whatever reason, I didn't pick up on it the first time I read it and was like, who is this reporter?
I didn't know either until I read the SBS.
Oh, they said it in the SBS?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like...
yeah, someone was like, is that Absalom? And Oda's like, yes, you're correct.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Because we also had someone let us know in the comments too.
But yeah.
And
Good thing we already read it before we read the comment though.
But I was also like, yeah,
maybe it was a given. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if that's constitutes like a spoiler or whatever, but if it's in the SBS, then it doesn't. And I just didn't pick up on it. And after going back and seeing it again, I was like, oh yeah, no shit. It's Absalom.
He's getting the scoop.
He's getting the scoop. He is TMZ, dude.
He is.
He's
as greasy as TMZ.
He's as fucking nasty.
Yeah,
as
it's like
TMZ.
He's like at everyone in the One Piece world, he would be paparazzi for sure.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And he'd be getting
in your
all
face,
kinds of,
and he'd be like, TMZ triggers people. They're just like, oh, so heard you broke up with them, or they cheated on you. Just like random.
Yeah,
sleazy
Absalom's
shit.
not maybe they don't have airports, but he's waiting at the docks. He's waiting at the docks to ask people the rudest questions.
Yeah.
They're just trying to go somewhere, trying to go about their day.
Yeah,
and he's just there hey, I'm trying to think of a character. Give me a character, Mehgan. It's One Piece.
Miss Wednesday.
Oh, hey, Miss Wednesday. I heard one of your sex tapes got out and it's circling around the snail. We got it on snail transponder video.
Okay,
how do you feel? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that on the snail video? Not good. Not a good one.
Not a good one. Not a good one.
Anyway,
Miss Wednesday is a child.
Oh, see, I thought that was a bad one. That was a bad one. That was a bad one. Okay, let me do it again. Yeah. That was a bad one. I got them confused. Wow. Sorry about that. So sorry about that. Come on, cut me some slack, dude. I wasn't thinking. I was on the spot.
You don't know your One Piece character.
No, I was
That's what
the
it
camera. I was trying to do an act out. It was a whole thing.
Shirahoshi.
Oh, Shirahoshi. Hey, Shirahoshi over here. How do you feel about your sex tape getting out? She's
16.
Okay, damn it.
You are not good at this.
Anyway, let's move on. Oh, hey, Zeph.
You're going to say the same thing again. God damn it.
No, how do you feel? Someone Someone died found dead at your restaurant. And
someone found a bug in your food.
And they're blaming it on your cooking. And also, pretty sweet sex tape.
You can cut everything else out that you just said, too. That'll be it. Yeah, that'll be the...
All right, yeah. I guys, cut me some slack. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to be edgy, dude. I just didn't fucking remember.
You didn't remember.
Anyway, let's move on before I dig myself even deeper. So, yeah, we found out about the writer, who was Absolem, who's getting the scoop. How's he getting the scoop? Who knows? How's he doing it? Who knows?
His devil fruit ability.
Oh, yeah. He's just invisible. He's just always there. Good point, Mehgan. Damn, that's why you're here.
That's why I get paid.
Yeah, that's why you get paid the big bucks.
The big bucks.
So we do see Kid reacting to that news, and they say that they're after a warlord as well. Like Kid and his alliance has been formed to also go after a warlord.
That was really cool because he's like, they're after a warlord, but which one are they after? And I'm like, okay, remember what I said last episode? I was like, I feel like they're going to all get together and take out one warlord.
Yeah. I do feel like that too. And it's got to be again.
Not a warlord, sorry. Emperor.
Emperor. Yeah, Emperor. Sorry. They're after the same emperor, or they're clearly after an emperor. My bad. But yeah, I think Shanks is last for sure. Unless Kid is after Shanks, and that would, I don't know, that would be interesting.
That would be interesting, and I wonder if like Luffy would do anything about that. Like,
I don't know. But yeah, I think that something's going to happen where they're gonna have to probably form an alliance with Kid and who he has formed his alliance with. Unless, I don't know, they're both trying to take out the same warlord.
That's what I'm saying.
Kid wants credit for it, or he wants to fill that spot, and so they end up like competing against each other.
That's probably
title.
What's gonna happen. I can definitely see that. I mean, now that Law again, I mean, we'll get into it about their alliance, but it is gonna be interesting. Especially towards the end, we get to see like Big Mom's ship, which looks fucking awesome.
It's big.
It's big and it's mommy.
It's a big mommy ship. Yeah, so this is when they call Dofi over the old snail transponder, and he tells him that they set up the rendezvous spot for where they're going to be dropping off Caesar, and they're going to be dropping off Caesar on Green Bit, I believe is the name of the island, at 3:00, I believe it was.
3:00.
At 3:00.
Said it very.
And Doflamingo says, I have something, Luffy, that you're just gonna, there's no way you're not gonna want what I got. Like when you find out what I got, you're gonna be desperate to get your hands on it. And I was like, damn, Mehgan, you said you kind of knew already. Did you have a sense? Or did you have a sense for something else?
I had a sense for something else. But I won't say.
Okay.
But I did like how Luffy called him Mingo. And I want to call him Mingo now. From now on, Mingo Bingo.
Mingo Bingo.
Mingo Bingo.
Yeah, this was a cool moment because I had a feeling, I was like, no way. Because he was at the Paramount War and all that stuff.
I had no idea about that. I was like, what could he possibly have that Luffy would want? Luffy doesn't want anything.
Because there's all this...
One Piece?
It's just, yeah, right? There's just been all this talk about devil fruits and devil fruits transferring, and I was like,
that'd
no
be crazy.
Way.
I mean, he's sleazy enough. I mean, he would have been on the lookout for that for sure.
For sure.
But like, who had fruit? Like, he brought his own fruit? Like, BYOF?
BYOF. Bring your own devil fruit. BYODF.
BYODF.
This is when because again, the reason I'm lingering here and I wrote these notes down is because I do think in this arc especially, there are some really important moments that are just kind of, or things that are really important that are just kind of casually mentioned. And I can't help but feel that way with some of these things. One of those things being Kinemon talking about initially wanting to set out for Zhao, which is where Law is going to be going, after they destroy the factory. But they're on their way, and they ask if they can go with Law, and Law's like, yeah, sure, you can go with me. But they're on their way to Dressrosa, which they've already mentioned, to save someone. That person is revealed to be Kanjiro, who, Tanjiro, I don't know. There's no relation. They just sound the same. But who's also one of the 4 samurai that set out for Zhao.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, is what I think is important. It's sort of just like no one ever really talks about the 4th one. They talk about the 3, right? Mm-hmm. Being Kanjiro, Kinemon, and Momo. But who's this 4th samurai? And what's his deal? And where's he at?
Mm-hmm.
And again, no one ever mentions it again. No one's like, you said there was 4 though. They just keep on talking. And that's when you know something's up.
For sure.
So we meet Commodore Brand New.
Oh, is it old?
It's brand new.
No, it's brand new.
It's brand new. We're in the new world now. We got rid of the old Commodore.
Yeah.
Commodore old.
In with the brand new.
Yeah, I was gonna try to make a joke on the fly, and
I
it
did
didn't
though.
really work. You did.
So
You saved
we're
me.
good.
So I get paid the big bucks. But he's talking about the warlords of the sea, and he's kind of giving everybody the rundown of the warlords, just in case they don't know anything about them, I guess. But he's telling them that they have a lot of they're only asked to have 2 things. Infamy is one of those things. Power is another one of those things. And we find out later just how valuable being a warlord is. I mean, we've kind of known that for a while, but they're able to get through a lot. They're able to get away with a lot by becoming a warlord. More than I think they should be able to get away with.
I know.
But it's revealed then who the warlords of the sea are -1.
My theory was correct.
And Megan's theory was correct.
That Buggy was going to be, he's just like slowly rising in the ranks, just like
he's failing upwards.
Through word of mouth. I mean, literally. I mean, he just had like groupie squad and he was just at the right place, right time. And even in his description, they were like, the notorious Buggy.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And he's just like there. So wild.
But who do you think the 7th warlord is? Because he says again, Oda, he just couldn't help himself at the beginning of this arc. He's saying like, and the other guy who I was talking about earlier before.
And the guy I explained to you and how he's like that. And they're like, yes.
And you're like, who? Tell me who. Who do you think?
Who do you
Any
think?
Theories?
Who do you think? Let's think about everyone that was there.
I would think it would be someone from the worst generation, right?
You think so? I mean,
it could be. I mean, it could be
Drake.
Do you think it could be Drake? I don't know. It seems like they were throwing Drake a lot of shade for like being ex-Navy and now being.
Yeah, they were. I don't think it would be Kid because if Kid was one, they would have.
I mean, would have done what? I mean, at this
he would
point
have
in the
maybe
story,
been there.
No, the warlords weren't there. They were just talking about them.
Yeah.
It could be Kid.
But then,
but I think it has to be someone from the worst generation. That's my kind of theory. I think if it's not Kid, then it could be like freaking Basil Hawkins or something like that. Who I love, by the way. I don't know. But I maybe I'm wrong. I need to know. Anyway.
Corona.
Yeah, Perona's a warlord of the sea now. We have now Akainu, right? Mentioning that he has someone there. He's like, don't worry about the straw hats,
And I kind of got a little goatee now.
Yeah, but
I kind of got a little goatee now.
Yeah. You look like you're trying too hard, Akainu. Okay. Now we're not a Sanji hate channel, but we're an Akainu hate channel. Okay. Because people are like, yeah, he's just doing his job,
They're troll.
Yeah. I feel like that they must be. Anyway, this is where we cut back to Doflamingo, and we start to see more of his crew and the Don Quixote family. A little bit of them. We don't get the full reveals of them yet. I don't think.
Not all of them, but a couple of them. And again, their character designs are so cool. The one that comes to mind.
I'm sure you like Dellinger.
Yes. Dellinger is freaking sick, and Baby Five's sick, and Sugar's sick, and I love them.
Sugar's sick, Dellinger's sick, and I do like Senor Pink, but it's just so many people are like, they're baiting me, and it's working. They're like, a brave man would cosplay Senor Pink, and it's working. Okay, it's getting to me.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. Like, I go home. I don't associate with babies.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I love it. I love him. I'm not supposed to, but I love him. We get to see now that it is the flame fruit that he's going to be putting in the hands of Diamante, I believe is how you say his name. Could be wrong. And they're going to be giving it away at this Coliseum battle gladiator fight that is pretty epic. Pretty epic. Another thing, again, it might sound, if you already know the events of what's to come, then this might sound like I'm spending too much time talking about things that don't really matter. But again, I do think they're going to hold some sort of significance later. There's this little moment where Momo talks about not flying and talks about, like Luffy mentioned, like Like, he's like, fly me there, Momo. And he's like, I can't fly. And he's like, yeah, you can. You flew. And he's like, well, if I did, I'm never doing it again or something.
Yeah, he's like, I don't remember even what happened. He kind of like blacked out from like fear or something. And they talk about that too. And we finally get confirmation on how he ended up
on the ship.
Being at Punk Hazard 2. So that was cool because we were like kind of speculating on how it happened. But yeah, he just is scared of flying or like blacked out.
But
and
blacked
then
out,
fly.
blacked out. That's the key because he says, I don't even remember what happened. So something is awakening in him that's allowing him and giving him access to all these like abilities. And it's a Vegapunk artificial devil fruit. So I don't know what the hell is up, but something's up. Mark my words.
Is Vegapunk's devil fruits only zone types?
I don't know.
Did Kuma always have a devil fruit?
Because he created a mythical zone type, which is crazy. Even crazier, or seems even crazier to me. What was your question? Does Kuma what?
Kuma always had a devil fruit?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know when he got his devil fruit, but ever since we met him, he had it. But he was also, again, already working or being experimented on by Vegapunk at that point, which, again, I see what you're getting at, and could be interesting.
Interesting.
So Law then gives Nami, I know you've said this wrong too, but it's stuck in my mind now, a Vivri card. Someone corrected us and said it's not exactly pronounced that way, but
Vivri.
Anyway,
Vivri.
Ivory. A Vivri card that points to his crew in Zhao. So now we know where his crew is at, and we know that they're waiting for him in Zhao. I was really stressed about that. I was wondering where they were at, dude, because of that polar bear.
Zhao.
And Zhao. And then they finally arrive at Dressrosa, the land of love and passion.
Yeah, the tireless gyrations of the women there.
We
got toys and we got women.
Hey, what else? What more could you want, dude?
Yeah.
Toys and women.
Living toys?
Living toys. Living toys and women. There's a joke to be made there about maybe sex toys, but I'm not gonna do it. Well, we have a higher standard for
you
comedy
basically
here.
did it.
I let them do it. I said it, and I let them do it.
Comment below what joke that could be.
Yeah.
I liked the Caesar delivery team and the Thousand Sunny Guard team. I like how they're split up. I like Ramen Law, Usopp. We got Nami, Chopper, Brook on the ship, which was like really, really cool to see them all together. And then we got, the ruffians. We got the vagabonds. We got Luffy. We got Zoro. We got Sanji, I believe.
Sanji and Kinemon. And Frankie.
And they're all freaking zooted up in these shirts, Frankie's braids are hilarious.
Bro, Frankie's the sick. Don't tell me he's not the sickest character ever, dude. His braids?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, and I love the braid combo with the beard. It just fits so well in the glasses. They all have glasses, like so hilarious.
Yeah, I loved this team. I loved all the teams, actually. A lot.
Yeah, I like the pairings this time around.
I liked seeing Robin with Law. And look, I don't mean to
stop. Don't even say it. Don't even talk it into fruition.
I'm not because I just want to say this too. Little small tangent, but it's One Piece related. We were watching Z, One Piece film Z.
Oh yeah, we watched Z.
And there was a Frobin moment, like heavy in that movie, where like it all but like solidified that something was up, because Frankie in his in his iron pirate suit, General Frankie was carrying. Everybody else was walking, dude, and everybody else was tired, and everybody else was like, we want to ride, and he was only giving Robin a ride
on his hand, in the palm.
He had Robin in the palm of his hand. I don't even want to speak it into existence, but if there's any man that I like,
is worthy of Robin.
If I was Robin's dad, right, I would only give her away at a wedding to Law or Frankie. I have to say,
because he's like a good.
He's a good man.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
And a good fuck. Yeah. He's like, take me to my chambers.
Bro, Robin and Law, though, they get into some crazy shit.
Bro, their sex would be insane, dude. It'd be like the Paramount fuck, dude. It'd be crazy. It'd be some fucking, I mean, they'd have to do a buster call on that fucking island, dude, because they'd be like,
Room.
They're like, what is happening over here? And she's just like, yeah. And it's like, broom, Cipher.
Stop.
And Frankie's over there like, super sad.
Oh, no. Okay, that's why I don't like it. It is only, they are canon. Everyone else is.
Yeah, I just didn't even want to go there, but, anyway.
We had to.
We had to.
Sorry.
We get the blind gambler that comes into, he is a big player, major player later on. That was a really cool, for the sake of like all the shit that happens, not to linger here for too long, but really cool scene. Really cool, epic moment where he's like,
bruh, not having sight is a blessing. The
that
world
line.
of men is full of filthy things not worthy of laying eyes upon. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Sending him
Bro,
to
are you
hell.
fucking serious? Are you serious? Like,
And then what this fool does later, I'm like, this guy is fucking awesome. Like, and he's a good guy too. And I kind of knew that he was going to be an admiral just because, Oda has this like, he makes it a point to draw admirals
a certain way.
That they look a lot more like they're drawn a lot more realistically because a lot of them are based on actual actors, real people.
They're like also big as shit.
A lot of other characters in One Piece are too, but he just draws them a little more realistic, I think. And they're big as shit. Yeah. But I was like, yeah,
Most
I have
are
a
big as
feeling
shit,
this is Admiral. But that's what I'm saying. We have these, Akainu promoted. Aokiji fucking wanderer.
Demoted.
Now. Demoted. Yeah, booted. He booted himself.
Frozen.
Yeah, frozen.
Dead.
Put him on ice. And so we
Garp
see kind of
still-
who's come in to fill those spots.
Yeah.
So it's really, really, really just cool. Again,
And
that's what
I
I'm talking
think,
about, the new world.
What's his name? Meathead or Meathead? It's not Meathead.
Meathead. Virgo? Meatface? He had a little Salisbury steak
He
on his
has
cheek.
a mask with
That
holes
guy,
in it.
Shark something.
Yeah,
which,
Shark.
I have his name.
Shark Eater
Shark
or something.
Shark I have his name. Shark Slasher. I have his name written down. But he reminded me a lot of Killer from Kids Crew. They got similar masks, dude. I don't know if there's any connection.
Maybe they're not. They're
not the same person.
Yeah, they look
person.
very similar, and I was like, oh no, it's someone else.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they come from the same clan or something, Or maybe they just have masks that look alike.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be weird for them to come from the same clan.
It wouldn't be weird, but it'd be like, yeah, Oda wouldn't just draw similar.
Exactly.
Like,
at least I like to think he wouldn't.
yeah.
Such an awesome scene, such an incredible scene. This is when one of Zoro's swords gets stolen. We hear about the legend of these fairies and how they just take things, but it's an offering, and it's something that the people of Dressrosa are happily.
They just do it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're glad to give these things away or let these things go because the fairies protect their island and the greenery and all these things. But Zoro's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm going after my sword.
And he took like the most valuable sword he has.
Yeah, and that was cool too to see. Even Kinemon be invested in that too.
Yeah.
And say like that sword is like belongs in Wano, and
then
one
he's
day
like, no, it's mine.
And one day we're gonna fight over it, and I'm gonna reclaim it and take it back to where it belongs. Hope that happens too. That'd be pretty fucking sick. So Zoro's after his sword. This is where even our factory destruction team gets really, really, really split up, and Zoro and I think Kinemon, but then they get separated, or Sanji goes after him. They all get separated, but it ends up being Luffy and Frankie, because Frankie's like, hold on, Luffy, like let's kind of like use this to our advantage to find some information about the factory. And they kind of interrogate this guy who's lower on the pecking order.
So funny too. I just like love the Luffy and Frankie interrogation.
Yeah,
like, where are you? Who are you working for? It's like the most goofiest. Like, so.
Well,
funny.
it's good cop, bad cop. It's good cop, hungry cop.
Good cop, hungry cop. Yeah.
It's RoboCop, hungry cop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
RoboCop, meat cop.
Yeah, RoboCop and meat cop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they end up, going to the Coliseum, finding out, he's like, if you want to meet the powerful people, the Donquixote family, they're going to be at the Coliseum. So this is where Luffy enters gladiator mode. And this is where Luffy stays for I think the majority of this part that we're going to be covering today. But still, a lot of cool stuff happens there. We do get to see more of the Donquixote family in this moment. We get to see, Dellinger, Senor Pink, but we just get to see their faces, their character designs, which are all fucking amazing. and makes me so excited to see more of them, their fighting styles, how they fight, and just more about their personalities. Because Diamante, I'm probably saying that wrong, but his personality is so funny. When he's praised enough, he kind of caves in. And, you know, we do get to see Senor Pink at the end, a little bit of Dellinger, but we don't get to see Lao G, and we don't get to see McVise. We don't get to see those two at all. So I'm curious and excited to see them too. Mm-hmm. Sanji's off on his own journey, and he meets a woman by the name of Violet, who he falls madly in love with. As Sanji would. You know.
Is it Violet or?
Well, it is. Her name is Violet, and then she goes by Viola or vice versa.
Yeah.
But we find that out. We find that out later. Which again, I was a little unclear on the relationship with her and with Rebecca and with Riku. Mm-hmm. But I do think in going back and. I don't know. It's not like it's not like, oh, I freaking cracked the code. It's like when I went back and I reread things to prepare, I was like, oh, I think I understand this relationship. Because me and you were going back and forth on like, well, if Riku's the king and Rebecca's the king's granddaughter, and we saw Rebecca with her mom in a flashback.
And we saw Violet saying like, Dad.
Yeah, and Violet, is
when the king
princess. But Violet and then... Rebecca's mom's name was Scarlet. So I'm just assuming that they were sisters and that Violet was the older sister. Therefore, she was the princess and Scarlet was the younger sister. I also have some theories about that fucking toy too, that toy soldier, but we'll get there when we get there. Anyway, Sanji meets her, falls in love. She
seemingly also...
She seems to fall in love with him.
Yeah, pretty much. And she's like, can you just do one thing for me, though? Like, can you kill someone for me?
Yeah, there was a funny nosebleed moment here, too. You know, for all the nosebleed moments, this might have been the funniest nosebleed moment.
Yeah, totally agree.
She's like, when I leaned in to kiss you, did I, like, hit you in the head or in the nose? And he's like, no.
No, you didn't.
But then we cut back to the Coliseum, and we see the toy Thunder Soldier outside. And he's kind of playing cat and mouse with some of the guards out there. And we find out that the Coliseum is basically a neutral zone where criminals can go and not be harassed. They can go there to compete in this competition. But the moment they come out of the Coliseum, then they are, they can be like convicted of their crimes or they can be arrested or whatever.
We also forgot to mention that, yes, there are living toys on this island.
Oh, yeah. Dressrosa is
the most wild shit. Island of Misfit Toys, on some Island of Misfit Toy shit.
For sure.
And I was like, okay, something's up.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go, I knew.
That's a very important thing that we forgot to mention. But there are going to be so many other things that I'm sure we forget to mention. Hopefully they're not super important things. But just saying that, bear with us. A lot happened, a lot of characters, a lot of moments, a lot of things.
Yeah, just know that we know.
Just know that we know, and when we see your comment, we're gonna be like, "Fuck."
Yeah, we forgot to mention that, so that's why we like your comments because you do let us know what we missed.
Even with pages of notes, I'm still like, "Fuck, I forgot."
I know. Well, if we mentioned literally everything, this would be a 5-hour episode
for just one part.
Yeah, I know, but it'll still be long. So,
but Island of Misfit Toys, yes, this is a super important thing to mention.
Oh God, and it's. I like all of them. They're so cute.
Yeah, they're really cool. And again, similar to you, I'm like, okay, this is Doflamingo's island. Some shit with these toys is off.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I thought for sure they'd like turn into flamingos.
Okay, I see why you would think that. Okay,
but Mingo was like, no.
No, he's like, I
want toys.
I want toys. Yeah. And meanwhile, Senor Pink is like, I hate all these fucking toys. The toys are for babies.
Yeah. I'm not a baby.
And baby 5 is like, I'm a baby. 5, I lost
She goes, I'm a baby.
And high 5. Gotcha.
She goes, I'm a baby.
Oh, 5 high? Oh, high 5. Oh, yeah. Oh, smoking weed. It was a ganja joke.
Ganja.
Yeah, ganja me.
Yeah.
But so we see this toy soldier out there, and this is when Lucy joins the fight. It's such a funny name too for Luffy to be called Lucy. I love it, dude. And it's again, like I said, it's not a coincidence that other gladiator name was Ricky. I even thought it was funny. I was like, why is a gladiator named Ricky? What a freaking crazy name for a gladiator. The legend of Ricky, the gladiator. I was like, all right.
Okay.
All these other crazy ass names.
Yeah, I liked it. Lucy, I mean, even though he is told not to reveal his identity at all, he is still, at any point, oh, what's your name? Luffy. And he just like forgets. And they're like, you don't even know your own name. You said it's Lucy. Your name's
Yeah, it
Lucy.
takes people so long to.
It really does.
To figure it out. Some more than others. But this is where we meet a lot of those people. And I'm just going to run through really quickly. They're all going to have their own moments. But some of the heavy hitters, some of the big players, and this is just a few of them, but are like the Qin Zhao family, Bu Sai and Don Qin Zhao. We meet the Funk brothers. We meet Dagama and Elizabello II, Bellamy, the Hyena, White Knight, Cavendish.
Love Cavendish.
So sick.
Love Cavendish. I mean, I don't know if we've seen such a beautiful man yet in One Piece.
I was going to say that too.
He looks very feminine, and like I don't remember if we've ever seen a man like this.
It's
in
beautiful,
One Piece.
yeah. He had some kind of Fulgore vibes, you know.
Fulgore for sure.
Yeah.
And he had a sick ass moment too.
He's an odd guy.
Yeah, and even Luffy's like, you're pretty cool, but I still hate you.
All these characters, and this is what I love about what Oda does with all of his characters. Some of them have like very legitimate reasons for hating the Straw Hats or very like legitimate and scary agendas, but some people's reasonings for wanting revenge or doing what they're doing is so silly and so funny, and I love it every single time. Cavendish, and everybody was saying it in the comments. Everybody was saying it. The captain of the Barto Club.
Dude.
That reveal, I loved it. I loved it.
He's all of us.
He's all of us.
He's all of us. Anytime, I loved all of the reveals of him. I love his character design. I love how scary he is.
At first, I thought he was a fishman for a second.
Oh, no.
But
we do get a fishman, though. We do get to see a fishman,
yeah.
That's somehow related to Jinbei, one of Jinbei's friends.
Yeah,
which
I mean,
is cool.
well, Jinbei, that's the cool thing about Jinbei. Like, even the more people you meet, you're like, damn, like, if you're a fishman, like, you know who Jinbei is.
Yeah.
And you respect probably respect the fuck out of him. Unless you're like one of the Arlong sympathizers.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was very cool. And yeah, Barto is like, he's hilarious. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, and I'm happy to be a part of his crew. And if you don't know where that comes from, where that joke comes from, when we did, I think it was our Straw Hat ranking or ARC ranking.
Yeah.
Mehgan found this thing online where we could take this quiz to see what, where we would land in the One Piece world. And mine came up the Barto Club. And at the time, we hadn't met them yet.
We're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we're like, okay. And everybody was like, oh my God, that's perfect. That makes so much sense. And at first, I was kind of like, because so many of our comments were like, oh, Josh is finally going to meet his captain. And the way that his kind of character sort of unfolds, I was like, fuck you guys. Like, because everybody hated him and he was this asshole who was going off and flipping everybody else. And I was also kind of like, he was pissing off the side of the stage.
I mean, that's not
And then
too
again,
far.
yes, there was this part of me that was like, all right, well, he's pretty badass.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I guess there's maybe they're saying, it makes sense because he's a little rebellious. I'm a little rebellious. No big deal. Maybe it's a compliment. But then it made a lot more sense.
As it unfolded.
Another mysterious thing that I'm sure we're going to probably figure out towards the end of this arc is the gladiator statue of the legendary man who fought in this Coliseum 20 years ago and only suffered a single blow. No one knows anything about him. I think, and this is Theory Corner, this is part 1 of Dressrosa. Don't spoil it if you know. I think it could be. Number one, it's for sure that nobody remembers him because he's a toy, right? Maybe he got either that or he really was this mysterious person. But
that's a good point.
But even Rebecca says like it's so strange that like nobody knows anything about him, and the only thing we have to remember is the statue, and it's even stranger that this statue just like that we keep it here. So I do think that everybody's memory got wiped of this person. I don't know for sure. That's more of a, I think like a legitimate sort of maybe like valid theory that I have like some sort of evidence to back up, but this is just a wild leap. Next, Rebecca's dad.
Yeah, Rebecca's dad, because she remembers having a dad.
Yeah. And well, yeah. And
because you like the little weenie dog.
Uh-huh.
Or the toy soldier asks like, oh, are you going to your dad's? He goes, Dad, I only have a mom. Right? And then he asks the mom, he's like, oh, where's your husband?
Rebecca doesn't know anything about her dad, though.
No, that's what I'm saying, but she knows that she had one. Right?
I don't think so. I guess you would assume. But
she remembers her mom.
Yeah, she remembers her mom.
That's right.
So
Everyone is wiped.
Yeah, so I think, it could be Rebecca's dad. It was 20 years ago. I don't know if that lines up. But it could. It could. That's more of just a wild sort of leap. But speaking of Rebecca, that's when we get to meet Rebecca. And I love this character. I love this character so much. And I hope she sticks around, and I hope we get to see more of Rebecca.
Yeah, I like Rebecca too.
She's awesome, dude. She's such a strong woman.
She really is.
Yeah, she's like a, what do you call it? She's from Themyscira or some shit.
She should be on Amazon Lily.
She should be on Amazon Lily, dude.
She needs to go there.
Rebecca needs to go to Amazon Lily.
Yeah, she needs happiness.
But then we get the first block sort of fight. And this was interesting because the victor of that block was, I don't know if it's Jesus or Jesus. I'm going to say
it's probably Jesus.
Because my dad's name is Jesus. So I'm going to go with Jesus Burgess, who is part of Blackbeard's crew. So we know that Blackbeard's trying to get his grubby little fingers all over that fruit. Everybody is. And everybody has their motives. And that's what I like about it too. Some people are using it as like a war strategy. Some are using it, some people are trying to get it to like get the upper hand so that their island, their nation can have the upper hand. And they're playing like political games. And some people are like, have been hired or sent there by their country to go get it, or other people are he's trying to get it from Blackbeard. Like everybody has their own reasoning for this, and everybody seems to want this thing because it is a very powerful Logia. I mean, I think even, and it might have been just part of the sales pitch, but I think even when they're talking about it in the Coliseum for the first time, they say like one of the most powerful Logia devil fruits. So everybody is like, I want this shit.
Yeah, it's very it's a, I guess, very wanted piece of the pie because, it's a very, very powerful devil fruit.
Maybe someone wants it just so they can make flame fruit pie.
Probably. Just to, well, they would still get the ability if they made it into a pie.
Oh, see, that's interesting too. Yeah, like why does everybody just like eat the devil fruit? Why don't they just like cook it up, Cook it up a little recipe.
Because I heard it tastes bad.
Right, Kaku and Khalifa said it tasted pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of Kaku and Khalifa, we get to see CP0.
Yeah.
Which was cool too.
With the little masks, mask crew, mask on, mask off.
Yeah, they're crazy. And they're referred to as the Aigiso, the supreme branch of the agency. But I'm gonna stick with CP0. Okay.
CP Coke Zero.
CP Coke Zero, sure, as a mnemonic device to remember it. But we see that there's a again, I don't know how much of this matters. I don't know how much of it matters, but we do get to see this guy named Capman from Navy HQ who's kind of infiltrated the Coliseum because there's Navy waiting outside for when all these criminals who've all flocked here from all across the New World, when they exit the Coliseum after they've lost, because only one victor per block gets to move forward, they're going to arrest him. But we have this guy, Catman, on the inside, but he's taken out by a member of the Barto crew. And, he takes out a member of the Barto crew and then is taken out by the captain. Captain, my captain.
My captain, my captain.
Captain, my captain. Captain, my captain. And that's around the time that we find out that the blind man is a Navy admiral.
Of course.
Of course. He is, one name that he goes by is Isho, and the other name that he goes by is Fujitora.
Fujitora.
Fujitora. I love this guy. And if he's replacing, I guess, Aokiji and Kainu, since Kainu's promoted, Aokiji's on ice. I love this for the Navy, honestly, because he's a good man. When he's outside of the Coliseum, this was like a really cool character moment for him that allowed me to completely understand who this man was with this one action. And that was him telling one of his underlings to go take count of, he's like, go survey, the island and go, do I have something on my hat?
Yeah, you just have a
the string?
Yeah.
This whole time?
I was trying.
This whole time? This whole time has been like that.
I was trying to tell you.
And you guys watching and listening didn't say anything either? You guys watching and listening didn't say anything. And you guys let me just sit here with a fucking strap on my head.
It wasn't that bad.
Anyway. So, back to my point.
There you go.
Anyway, thank you so much. Back to my point. One action informed me on who this man is. And that action was, he said, go take count of everybody on this island. And the guy's like, shouldn't we be taking count of the enemy? And he's like, no, we should be focusing on what's important. And that's how many people we're here to save. And I was like, damn, that's some fucking good, that's some good Navy shit right there.
That is some good Navy shit.
I'm used to this fucking evil, dirty, nasty, grubby little fucking celestial dragon bullshit, fucking kissing ass feet Navy shit. But we got people like Garp in there. We got people like Kobe in there, Helmeppo in there. We got some good ones in there. And now we know we got another good one in there. And so that gives me a lot. We got Tashigi and Smoker. They're pretty good. We got a lot of good ones in there, but we also got a lot of fucking bad ones in there.
Yeah.
Corrupt ones in there.
Yeah.
But I like this guy a lot. A lot. Anyway, little rant on him. CP0, like I said. Then Catman gets taken out by Bartolomeo, which is his full name.
Bartolomeo. We're probably saying that wrong too.
I'm sure we are. But now we see another battle happening, which is, I think, before actually the next block fights. This was an interesting moment between Luffy and Bellamy.
Oh yeah.
Where they kind of run into each other in the waiting room, and
he immediately recognizes him.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you think I would not notice you?
Yeah. And
you're in chanclas. Like, who else would be in chanclas in an arena right now?
I mean, your body, your physique. I mean, come on. You smell like freaking raw meat, dude. I know exactly who you are.
Yeah, dude. Probably Luffy. I feel like Luffy smells.
Yeah, we did talk about that in an episode, and there was a comment saying that they really appreciated it, just kind of like unpacking, because it adds another layer to the One Piece sort of experience when you're imagining what these characters smell like. We kind of describe what we would think Law would smell like, but Luffy smells like fucking raw meat and dirty feet.
Yeah.
But I still love him.
Raw meat and dirty feet.
Raw meat and dirty feet.
Yeah.
But I still love him. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll go through, and if time permits.
Yeah.
We'll talk about,
I really want to. I like it. I like it a lot.
But yeah, this was cool. A cool moment because Bellamy tells Luffy who he is and how they met on Jaya. And I think
he's
Luffy
like, who are you?
I think Luffy even remembers, like, oh yeah, you're that guy that I met on Jaya.
Yeah, that bitch I met on Jaya.
That bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bellamy then goes on to kind of poke the bear and says, so much has changed in 2 years, Straw Hat Luffy. It's not just you. I'm a different man now. I went to Skypiea. I went there.
I was like, damn.
And this is what's weird to me. I love the development of what happens, and I love the idea that Bellamy can kind of come around.
Mm-hmm.
Given Luffy's character, that we've come to know him for being, we've known him to be very stubborn and very, kind of one way for so long. There was one thing that I don't have any issue with it. It's a small nitpick. And it was just something that I was like, that is odd. Because the last time Bellamy and Luffy speak, because, Bellamy the hyena is looking a little sinister. And Luffy's like, you went to Skypiea, did you hurt anybody there? Did you lay a finger on any of those people up there, in Skypiea? And he just looks at Luffy and he's like, maybe. And Luffy was like, like he is. And then the next time they interact, Luffy's like cheering him on the sideline.
Yeah.
Luffy's like, has this Rob Schneider moment, like, you can do it, Bellamy.
Rob Schneider. And then also he's like, guide me through this place. Like, take me to your leader. No, when he's talking to Barto, they're in the hallway or whatever. Yeah, it was very weird change of heart. But maybe he's kind of just after doing Impel Down, after doing all of these things where he kind of has...
That's true. He teamed up with Croc, I guess.
Yeah, so he's able to put those aside for the greater good. And maybe he's better at looking through, people lying or their real intentions.
Yeah, maybe he's got a little bit of observation hockey that he's, But I like Bellamy, and I like kind of where the Bellamy character ended up going. But we get the Block B fight, and a lot of these fights, they're really cool moments, but we're going to power through it for the sake of time. I don't know how important a lot of these characters are going to be later. Even if they aren't, I really enjoy just knowing that they exist in this world. But we get Block B with Dagama, the tactician, and the Fighting King. The Fighting King was so cool to see his ability. I don't believe was even a devil fruit ability. It was just some ability that I guess none of these people would really. Well, some of them do have devil fruits, but a lot of them are competing for a devil fruit.
Yeah, and I thought that the guy who Garp, who he had beef with Garp. I was like, because we were told, I forget when, but he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna punish you for what your grandpa did to me, and he changed me. I don't know what he did. What did your grandpa do to me?" I was like, did Garp steal his freaking devil fruit abilities? Well,
we find out what Garp did.
I know, but I was tripping. I was like, the implications of this,
yeah. I mean, Garp was using some fucking armament hockey too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Because
it's not crazy. I mean,
it's not crazy.
Yeah. But it was like, oh, that's cool.
It's not crazy, but it's just like, I believe Garp was using hockey in that fight when he maybe he wasn't, because Garp can, fucking deflect cannonballs and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very powerful.
But I mean, the only reason it looked like it could have been hockey, because someone else pointed out that Into the New World, Oda does look like he draws hockey in a sort of the armament hockey, in a metallic sort of way. It did look like that in the panel, but then it just led me to believe, to question, well, why didn't Luffy know anything about hockey? Why wouldn't Garp teach Luffy anything about hockey? If he had hockey, because he was training them, and you'd think it would have come up or something. But maybe Garp wasn't using hockey. Maybe that was,
just his punch.
Yeah, just his punch.
Yeah,
and his fruit punch.
Yeah, his fruit punch.
Yeah. Anyway, so this fight was really cool. We also get to see the Fishman. We learn that the arena is surrounded by fighting fish little fighting fish that we're gonna see more of.
I like
later. They're cool.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about cute, but
I think they're cute.
Okay, they're kind of scary.
They're cute, scary.
I'll remember that. We see Blue Gilly of the long leg people.
Oh yeah, really cool.
The long leg people, of course.
They're he just has long legs. It doesn't mean shit.
They were the people that captured Brook.
It was, there was a lot of comebacks, and there was a lot. I mean, again, there was so much happening. There was the announcer saying what they were saying. They were saying what they were saying. There were people on the sidelines saying shit. It was every page was a character, word bubble, word bubble, word bubble, word bubble, and 5 different sides of different things people were saying.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
So,
very intense.
Yeah. It was a lot, but I loved every moment of it. But again, just to power through all of this really quickly. That's, again, you already kind of touched on it, Mehgan, but, that guy's beef with Garp, that leading to Luffy being revealed to Cavendish now realizing who the Straw Hats
now he has to kill him, I guess.
And his beef with them being that, he was this hot guy that was on the front page of all the papers. And then Luffy and the Straw Hats came along and kind of stole his shine. And that's why he's, hates them so much. Luffy has that moment where he roots for Bellamy on the sidelines, or says come on, you got this, or, hang on.
Hang on, bro. You got this, bro.
We get to see that punch that takes out everybody from the king, except Bartolomeo, who ends up winning. And he ends up winning because of his devil fruit ability, which is the barrier fruit. Very sick, very cool. Now we're back to Caesar team for a second. Caesar Team 6. And they are crossing this bridge to get to Greenbit. It's a dangerous bridge with bigger fighting fish. They cross the bridge. They see a bag, or they see a big, huge fighting fish. It's giving them all these problems, be captured and, dragged in a bag.
Yeah, they hear talking. They also see a Navy ship.
Yeah.
And it's probably Smoker.
Well, I think it's
that revealed?
I think it's who's there. It's I think it's who
because he said they were going to go to Greenbit.
Yeah, it flashes back to Law telling Smoker that, and I think Law did that purposely because he knew Smoker was gonna. Whether Smoker didn't follow him on his own, he was going to inform the Navy on that.
So that would all work into his plan. Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, I don't think Smoker was there. I think that was the new admiral's crew.
Yeah.
Because those aren't my G5 guys.
My G5 fam.
My G5 fam. Yeah, so this is all happening. They're on Greenbit. Some crazy shit happens. Usopp and Robin are in the forest. She uses her devil fruit ability to capture one of these voices who have like taken the clothes off of all these soldiers or these Marines, and they black out. And Robin wakes up covered in little people. Covered in little people and
everywhere. In every crevice.
In every crevice. They have her tied down, And this, again, I know this is a stretch, but I did get some like...
Stretch?
Yeah, this is a stretch, but I did get some like, I don't know, man. Like some of these panels, just reminded me of like, is the island Elf Island in Berserk that they went to? Like I just got some of that vibe, because again, that's when they go, spoilers, I guess, and to Puck's homeland.
But this was more wholesome than what that turned out to be.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty funny. I liked how immediately, she tells them like, no, we're on your side. Like we're not here to, hurt you. We're not here to do anything. And they're like, oh, okay. If that's the case, then I guess we won't do that. And he's like, oh, he's so gullible. All of them are this gullible? Yeah,
that was hilarious. I loved the panels of her being tied down. And I mean, okay.
You set yourself up.
I like, the perspective. I like,
a lot of perspectives in that one. Yeah, if I remember back.
I didn't mean it like that. I think it was cool because we learned that they're not fairies, that they're a race of people called the Tontatas, which
Tontatas.
I wrote
it is not. Is it Tontatas?
Which they were definitely in her tatas, that's for sure. But I wrote down Tontatas. I didn't see a C in there.
A K. I mean, Tontatas.
Anyway,
Tontatas.
Yeah, they were. I mean, now their name makes a little more sense. But some of the reason I say that when she was tied down, it's not like that, guys. It's because it's clear that even though these are some little people, they're very strong, and some of them seem to have a devil fruit ability.
Yeah, that was really cool to see.
Yeah,
there was like a bee.
Oh, cub and the
yeah.
All right, we're powering through. So much is happening. I want to give time to everything, but I also don't want this to be the longest episode we've ever done, even though most people have said that they're fine with it.
Oh wow, it's okay. Calm down. Just breathe.
I'm breathing.
Breathe.
Because it's
okay.
The reveals that we're gonna get to is crazy. Okay, so this is where we cut back to Zoro. We see that he's met one too. Wicca's
so cute.
Kind of look like pearls too.
They do.
Yeah.
My pearl.
You could do every gem, and you do except for you can't really do garnet that well, but you could do every other gem. Pretty spot on. Rebecca, and not Rebecca Sugar, looks out the window. She sees the toy soldier. She starts tearing up. She starts getting all emotional. And meanwhile, the toy soldier and Frankie have teamed up because they have a plan to take down this factory. The toy soldier has told Frankie, I'm going to tell you everything about Dressrosa and that I'm here to take it down. And at first, I didn't trust this guy. This guy was a little sus. He reminded me of a little Goosebumps scary, character come to life. And I didn't trust him because this is before we find out that they're humans. And I was like, something's amiss right here. But it turns out he was telling the truth.
Turns out I was telling the truth, and they're all humans. Yeah.
And they're all humans. Yeah.
And I called that. I was like, I wonder if we're going to get that dropped now or soon. I was like, yeah, this is definitely sus, and these are like human beings because it's just like, I understand things happen in One Piece, but like living toys?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's so many implications with that devil fruit too, and I want to talk about it. We find out that Doflamingo never quit the Warlords of the Sea. Not a surprise.
Not a surprise.
More of a surprise that Law didn't even consider that a possibility.
Yeah.
Law again doesn't know about his backstory.
And that's why I think that he didn't anticipate that, because he's like, there's no way that they would put that out and then Oh, sorry, it was a mistake
Mhm.
because they don't do that. But he has the power to.
Because of some things that we'll find out later,
Yes.
which was a huge development.
Yes.
Sanji at first was bamboozled by Violet and her all-seeing eye.
I was so mad. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding?"
Yeah.
But then it became like, "Oh, okay, actually, this is fine."
He was right.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Sanji. And you know, Sanji was killing it.
Well, he uses observation hockey, so he could observe her actual heart. You know.
He could observe her heart.
Mm-hmm.
He should do that more often.
Yeah.
But yeah, she reveals that CP0 put out a false report. She shows Sanji her memory. She has the craziest ability too.
She does. She
like
has a great
she's on
one.
some warg shit.
She has a great. What's that?
Warg shit. You know, like in Game of Thrones, Bronn, who
Oh yeah.
or Bran, who ended up becoming the fucking
worst
king.
character.
He's a cool guy, and I wanted him to do so many other cool things. I loved his character.
They put him in a box. They put him in this box of being like.
I'm more so vomiting at the ending and you know, just than like him. Like I like his character. I just the fact that he was the one at the end. Like, come on, man. Like I like him though. But anyway, he had the ability to like warg into other animals and shit. And she's talking about like I'm warging into birds right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she had the tears that were like whales.
Yeah, I loved that. That was so cute. Yeah, her abilities are really cool.
Like pretty powerful. Like she's super powerful.
That's why they keep her around.
Yeah. This is when we cut back to the island, and again, the new admiral that we met, whose name eludes me all the time.
Fujitora.
It's gonna take me a little bit
Fujitora.
to remember it for it to stick. Fujitora.
Mm-hmm.
So then on that island, we're learning a lot more about these loopholes, and we're learning that, you know, Fujitora's kind of sitting there, and he's a man of the law, and he's sitting there and he's saying, people are saying like, oh, there's Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
There's Caesar. You know, we got to get him. He was part of that destruction and caused the reason and what caused that destruction. And he's like, well, if he's aligned with Doflamingo, and if Doflamingo isn't stepping down as a warlord of the sea, then he's pardoned and we can't do anything about it. This also leads into a really cool moment where the same thing could potentially happen for Luffy and the Straw Hats, where he, you know, Doflamingo talks about, well, what about law? And what about the Straw Hats? And he says, well, that depends. Like, if it's not a true alliance, and if law is, they're working under law, then they're pardoned too. And law's like, hell no, we're equals. And I was like, let's go, daddy. I was like, let's go. That's why you daddy. That's why you daddy. I loved it.
Let's go, daddy.
Take me to your chambers, daddy. It's so sick that like both of his abilities, I can make these jokes about room, chambers. Fucking sexy ass bitch.
Whoa.
I love him. I love him so much. I love him. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I mean, this was like interesting because now we're getting to see like how much shit these warlords can get away with just by being a fucking warlord. No wonder everybody wants to be a warlord. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, no wonder why freaking Z is so mad.
Yeah. From Film Z.
Yeah, from Film Z.
What a great movie, dude. What a fantastic movie. Anyway,
Fantastico.
I got to get my place back again. But this is where a big battle happens between the three of them, between Doflamingo, between Law, and between this new admiral who's pulling meteorites from the sky.
Dude, that was so sick. I mean, they're like all just like chilling, and then immediately he just like gets a meteor, and Doflamingo's like, "This is a joke, right? This is a joke. Like this guy's powerful as shit."
So powerful.
Like what?
And really another devil fruit ability that I never thought I would see. Like pulling shit from outer fucking space, dude. And Neru or Nell is up there like, whoa, what the hell is happening? That was awesome. That was like a highlight moment, a highlight interaction.
Oh yeah.
Between the three of them.
For sure.
But before that, we get a little reunion. Everybody like meets back up and then splits back up again, which I don't mind at all. It really keeps the story moving. But it also is like hard to keep track of everybody. Yeah,
and during this time, we forgot to mention that Nami, Brook, and Chopper are on the Thousand Sunny, and they're fighting against this lady who has like art abilities. And I did love seeing that. That was so cool. She turned the whole Thousand Sunny into a freaking Picasso painting. She turned all Chopper, Brook, and Nami into these pieces of art, and they were able to turn the tables on them pretty much. Brooke did that.
Brooke had a highlight moment.
Brooke tricked her. Brooke played her.
Oh man, dude. I mean, he really convinced her, and that moment in his lines, like Brooke is fucking. He slays, dude.
He slays.
He's the best. Like every time I'm like, Frankie's the GOAT, Luffy's the GOAT. I'm like, fucking Brooke's the GOAT. I mean, I can't decide. They're all GOATs. I love them all.
Yeah, he's like, I never really liked art, just never had an eye for it. I'm like,
I
love
yes,
you.
I
love you. So sick.
Yeah.
Why are you calling me Miss Universe? No one said that. She's funny too.
She's funny. She's like, she's like I feel like Alvita, and who is the guy? The starts with a D. The
G's nuts.
Okay, dude. The guy who was helping guard the ship while they were on their 2-year.
Oh yeah, Duval.
The dude, yeah,
Duval.
The Duval. Like a lot of these characters are like, did someone call me handsome right now? But
did you call me a model? No, I did not.
Yeah, that fight was really cool.
Yeah. For sure.
And we find out that Usopp, or Usoland, as he has called himself, you got Sogeking and you got Usoland now.
I drew him. This is sweating
Usopp
face.
is so funny.
His freaking face, because he lies that he's a family member, a relative of Nolan
Montblanc.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, how do they talk? They
talk like babies.
Yeah,
they're like. When we heard that you were a descendant of Nolan Montblanc, we knew you were the prophecy. That was bad at the end. That was really bad at the end.
Yeah. We knew you would come back to save us. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it either. I mean, I'm glad I read this part because I'm sure it's so cute in the anime. But there was a point where I was like, okay, do they have to talk like babies the whole time?
Yeah, I know. They had to, once you commit, you can't just like unbaby it. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty funny. He's always, I was like, dang, Usopp lying again a little bit. That's cool.
But it was also cool again to see everybody come back and play their parts in this world. Like Nolan Montblanc 400 years ago came to them and helped him. I mean, he was like a Johnny Appleseed or a Johnny Turnip Head or some shit.
Johnny Turnip Head.
And I was such a fan of Usopp from the very beginning that the Usopp figure that I have that you can kind of see in the background, maybe not really, was just the only Usopp figure that was like there or available when I wanted to buy an Usopp figure. And now, finally, this is the outfit that he's in Dressrosa.
Is that also Sanji? Sanji's outfit too?
I believe that's Whole Cake Island Sanji. I'm not sure. But that is Dressrosa Usopp sitting right there behind us. Because he calls himself a descendant of Nolan because he has a little like turnip head too.
Yeah. I like that hat.
I love that whole fit.
All of their fits.
Yeah.
Every one of their fits. I was like, yes. Like when I saw Robin's fit, I was like, I have to. She's just so drippy.
And may I say, you're killing it. I didn't say that earlier.
Oh, yeah, for listeners only, audio listeners only.
They heard my struggle.
Yeah, Josh was dressed up as Lucy, and I'm dressed up as Nico Robin Dressrosa outfit.
Megan's killing it. I was killing it, a different kind of killing it. And then it was literally started killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much fucking cool shit here again with that Nolan the Liar is continuing to be this figure that passes through so many people's ancestries and influences just history and cultures. And I can't wait to see in what other ways he has done that because he's just a very important part of everything too. I feel like what a Chad, what a cool guy. And speaking of Chad, there's another guy in that Coliseum fight that looks like Chad, dude. Idio, the cannon of destruction. I'm like, you got 2 Chad arms, dude.
Yeah.
But it's also said at this point that Doffy wants to give Bellamy another chance to join the royal family. That's why Bellamy was in the fight in the first place. He didn't really, I don't think, cared, or maybe he did care about the devil fruit, but he also wanted to get a spot on the Don Quixote family. And he failed because he lost, but now Doflamingo's like, if you kill Luffy, I'll give you a second chance. Yeah. That's when we see that guy, Shark Slicer, who is a Navy HQ vice admiral outside, and they're all wondering like, damn, dude, this was really cool too. They're like, damn, where are all the losers at? Like, we've gone through multiple blocks and like the losers aren't coming out. And they're like, I don't know. And then later when we find out what's happening, they're like going over their list and they're like, yeah, who's this person? Like, who are these people that we wrote down on this, because they're just like vanishing from their memory, which again is why that fucking statue, that warrior, vanished from everybody's memory too. Anyway,
that's a good theory. I mean, it's sound.
It has some, there's some logic behind it. This is where the toy soldier, it's at this point in the story, chronologically, that the toy soldier explains to Frankie the rules, the House of Toys, and reveals that all the toys are human, which we already kind of talked about, but it doesn't really happen until this point in the story.
Yeah.
So then they find that there's a plan to sneak in Robin and Usopp. That's when we meet Cub and Beon and the 20-man bus, which I am sure that you really loved a lot.
Yeah, I did. So cute.
Yeah. Everybody kind of meets again in this like flower field before they get separated again. It was really cool to see Zoro there. As they're talking about Zoro, and Zoro's just like watching the fight on a TV. I love Zoro so much, and he's just like, we're out here trying to get all this information and do all this work, and Luffy's just having fun. Like, how come you didn't tell me there was a Coliseum fight? Like,
yeah, he would have been in it. He would have been in it with Lucy.
Yeah, he would have been right there. This is again crazy shit. Law is basically like, while this fight is going on between like the team that's supposed to be guarding the ship and the art devil fruit user, like Law calls in and is like, hey, change of plans, swing back around, take Caesar to Zhao, because like shit's kind of like falling apart. And so they have to kind of contend with that while having to deal with this devil fruit user at the same time, but they do. We get a little bit of that Chin Zhao, the drill, his backstory, which was funny and awesome, and I love it. But for the sake of brevity, Garp he had a cone head. He was a cone head, and Garp just punched his head round again.
Yeah, not round. He does have a crazy dome.
That's true. That's true. A little divot in his head.
Yeah, but he was very emotional about that.
Because he had a treasure that was under ice. Awesome. Just like awesome, because I love seeing more of Garp. Like, I love seeing like Garp. I
miss him.
Me too, so much.
Yeah.
But not going to linger here for too long for the sake of everything else that we have to get through. Luffy ends up like defeating him by hitting him in the head, but in the process, like his hand slides down and it restores his head to its natural state, its natural cone head shape.
Yeah, I like that. He was like, my grandpa hit me all the time. What does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, that's what anytime we get to see more Garp, I'm for it all the time. This is when Bartolomeo is revealed to be a Straw Hat super fan, which I loved that turn, because again, the way he came out, flipping everybody off, pissing off the side, for it to then be revealed that he's just this guy who's like, man, I was there that day when Luffy was on the same execution platform that Goldie Roger was on, and I saw what happened that day. And he is going to be the future king of the pirates, and I'll do anything in my power to make that happen. So
hilarious. I was so talking shit. And he goes, what the fuck did you just say?
And he's like, what the fuck did you say about Lucy?
Lucy's going to be king of the pirates, asshole. Yeah. So funny.
It was sick. Luffy gets a moment to talk to Blackbeard very briefly.
Ooh, that was cool.
And, Blackbeard's just being a fucking bitch. He's on his fucking bitch shit again. Saying,
yeah, of course.
I do love Blackbeard as a villain, though.
Yeah.
As a villain, he's very... he gets under your skin. He gets under Luffy's skin, and he's just a very shitty guy.
Yeah,
and he's a slimy guy, but an awesome villain. Rebecca then shows Luffy the cells downstairs where the gladiators lives, buys him some food, and then tries to kill him.
As one does.
Which I was like, thank God. Like, she wasn't just evil. She wasn't evil. She was just trying to, like
kill him,
thin the herd a little bit to get the advantage. I mean, she was, but not for like Doflamingo or anything. Like,
no.
She was just, but yeah, and Luffy had a really cool moment, and we just get to see how like Luffy's again character just kind of shines through and who he is. Like, this was a really cool moment for him because And he's like, no, you fed me. You bought me meals. You didn't have a lot of money. Like, you did it. That was so kind of you. You're a kind person. Plus, you're not really trying to kill me. And
I know. And that panel with her on the floor, like her all teary-eyed, like, oh, poor Rebecca. She's been through so much.
she really has.
And you like freaking got kidnapped. And
She's
like,
the Vivi of this arc.
she almost got sold off, like fucking human trafficked.
Yeah, she
That
on
was
the run.
crazy.
I mean, she is like, I mean, they're both probably equally pretty bad, but like getting captured and being like having to live in a cell and then fight to the death every.
I know.
I mean, it's pretty that and
everyone's
the other
giving
thing
you
is
shit.
Pretty equally terrible. Yeah, and everybody's booing you and everybody fucking hates your guts.
Yeah, I was like literally like, I think you should leave. Like, I hate you, baby Jarvis.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that one? They're like, fuck you, Harvey Jarvis. And they're like, okay, calm down.
It's a little foggy, but I kind of remember.
Fuck
that
you,
scene.
baby Jarvis. I think his name is Harley Jarvis.
Oh,
Baby Harvey
I
Jarvis.
know
The
what you're
baby
talking
show.
about. Harley, yeah. But
Hope
yeah,
you
everybody
die.
everybody fucking hates
Yeah, they
her.
really hope she dies.
They really do, and
Mhm.
it's very sad. And we get a little Rebecca flashback right here, and that's when we see the Lady Scarlet, you know, her mom, she was killed, the toy soldier, how the toy soldier kind of fits into her life, brought her like mom there, apologized for not being able to save her, becomes like, you know, someone who comes and visits her every day with a little flower petal, and then teaches her how to fight, but teaches her to fight to defend herself, not to fight to hurt people. And it was just a really heartfelt and sweet moment and a beautiful backstory. And it just gives a little more impact to the reveal that we find out later about the toy being her dad.
Yeah, I figure it's like he's like a dad to me.
I
was
did,
like,
yeah.
it's probably her dad. Now that we know that humans can turn into toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, all that, and Brooke defeating the art user and all that, comes one of the biggest fucking reveals.
Bruh.
One of the fucking
Bruh.
craziest things.
It
One
lines
of-
up. I mean, literally everything that's happened, I'm like, oh, it makes sense, but I never would have guessed.
I never in a million years would have guessed. And it's just because of like all the other celestial dragons that we've met so far. It was the farthest thing from my mind that this was going to happen and that this was a thing. But like you said, Mehgan, it makes so much sense and fits perfectly. And we get a little more insight into what we already know and have assumed and have inferred the origin of the world government to be. But we get it kind of like officially stated where Doffy explains that it was 20 kings that established a massive power known today as the world government. And their descendants, they all went to Mera and their descendants are known as celestial dragons. And one of those creators was the Don Quixotes. And I was like, Don Quixote is a celestial motherfucking dragon. Doflamingo, a celestial fucking dragon. Checks out, makes sense. But now he's got a different kind of evil. He's got a different kind of power.
Oh, yeah.
He's a different kind of evil and he's got a different kind of power.
Oh, yeah. And I was wondering, I mean, he's not anymore. That's what he states. You know, I'm not anymore.
But he still has that blood, so he can still do whatever the fuck he wants on top of being a warlord of the sea, on top of being a fucking powerful devil fruit user.
Exactly.
He's
got the trifecta.
He really does.
He's a
the
triple
trifecta
threat.
of evil. He's a triple threat.
He's a triple threat.
I like that.
And, you know, it's funny.
What's
you know,
funny? Tell me what's funny right
his-
now. Tell me what's funny right the fuck now.
You know his devil fruit power?
The string.
He's literally pulling strings
Fuck yeah, dude.
to get what he wants done. Makes use of one's influence and contacts to gain an advantage. He's literally pulling strings. I'll pull a couple strings.
He's a puppet master. I mean,
He takes that.
he, like you said.
Oda, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, he gets the award for Oda, you son of a bitch, this episode.
Pulling strings.
He is one of the most interesting and terrifying and powerful and also kind of drippy too.
It's kind of
villains
hot.
and kind of hot.
Yeah.
Villains that you know, antagonists that we've seen so far. He's at the top. He's always been at the top because he's been so mysterious and he was doing all those dealings in Marine 4, working with suspicious people and higher ups in the Navy. And you're wondering like how he even got to that point. Is black market dealings? Does the Navy have some black market dealings with him? And why are they working with him? And come to find out he's it's nepotism. It's nepotism and that boy got royal blood. And by royal blood, I mean he's got dirty blood. Because, you know, he's a descendant of one
dragon.
of those
Assholes.
I mean, they're a disservice to the name Dragon, to the title Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, and Dragon, Luffy's dad, his name is Dragon. Celestial dragons, Momo is a dragon. A lot of fucking dragon shit coming up right now. There's something with dragons, dude. There's something with dragons. I'm just starting to realize that.
Dragons. Maybe Otis likes dragons.
Well, for the sake of not dragging this episode on.
I was going to make...
I beat ya.
I know.
Sorry, you want to say it?
No.
Okay, just a second.
No.
But this was such an awesome reveal, man.
Yeah. I mean, again, everything makes sense. All of his connections of what he's able to do, what he's able to achieve, and his attitude and his, we kind of see that flashback when Momo's flashing back and when he's seeing him on the street and he's talking to someone and he's like, you better do this, better do that. And he says something into the regards like, you people or like you humans or whatever, because they see themselves like higher than even that. And it all makes sense. It all makes sense. He likes to see struggle. He likes to see people.
He thinks he's better than everybody. He thinks everybody is beneath him and he thinks he deserves power.
Yeah.
He's a fucking monster, but he's also really hot.
Yeah, Mingo.
This is when Sanji goes off to help the crew. Zoro and Kinemon, they are helped out by Bart. I'm gonna just call him Bart from now on, Captain my Captain, because Bart sees Zoro and he has a fanboy moment over Zoro. He's like, "Can I get your autograph?" Can
barely talk.
Yeah, can barely speak. And he's gonna go get Luffy and tell Luffy that they're waiting for him outside. Then Law has another fake out moment with his heart. He's always faking people out with them hearts.
I know.
Always. That's his go-to move.
He's a real heartthrob.
He's a heartthrob for sure, Mehgan. You are fucking killing it. But he does a little fake out. Everybody thinks he has Caesar's heart, but it's not Caesar's heart.
And he does a fake out too. I mean, not a fake out, but he announces that his alliance with the Straw Hats are done. He was only using them to get them to...
Which is a fake out.
Which is a fake out. And also, even if the alliance was broken, like the Straw Hats are kind of under the impression like we want to do this for us now because of how bad things are here.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I think Law is still just kind of trying to do whatever he can to like gain the upper hand in some way.
Yeah,
I mean, they are fucked. Like they have been like royally fucked. And the only thing that kind of, and I think Doflamingo mentions this too, the only thing that kind of fucked them up was Violet betraying them. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for that, then they would have been got. Like it would have been over. Which is wild. I mean, again, we knew that there's no way this is the thing that's going to stop him. So Sanji kind of saved everyone. Saved everybody's ass. Yeah, by just flirting. With a little wink and a kiss. He didn't kiss her yet, did he? Yeah, he kissed her. He did? Yeah, he did. And that's when his nose bled. Oh. Yeah. And because she kissed him to make it look like she was like, this is when we thought she was still like on the run or something. And so she kissed him. She's like, "Kiss me, you fool!" And then the guards ran by. Yeah. And then she's like, "They almost saw me." You know that old thing. Yeah, I imagine her with like a some sort of like Latin accent. Oh, really? Yeah, because she's got that whole salsa dancer vibe. I get that. I can see that. Mm-hmm. I can see that. But. Yeah, I mean, and I want to say too, Law's devil fruit abilities are fucking amazing, and he's kind of on some Sasuke shit. I know you haven't gotten that far into Naruto, but I mean, he does some Sasuke shit with his fucking like teleporting, replacing himself with the rock and replacing it, and he's like throwing things through the air and then swapping places with them. I'm like, this is fucking the sickest thing. I loved it when Sasuke did it, and you bet your fucking ass I love it when Law does it. Okay, it's so fucking awesome, and I don't know why I'm a sucker for this like kind of teleportation-ish thing, but it's just such a cool fucking thing. I love it. There was like a fan-made like My Hero video too, like a live-action My Hero video too, where someone made this fan-made short, and it was so good, and that was the main character's like ability too, where he would just throw stuff and he could swap places with it. Man. I'm a sucker for it. I love it. He's pumped. I'm pumped. I'm out of breath. Yeah. And speaking of badass Sanji moments, when Sanji goes to help out the crew, he does come across Doflamingo and has a little moment against him. And is also like, Dolphy's like, dang, okay, you're strong. Yeah, recognizes his strength. Mm-hmm. He's like, finally a strong one. And we find out why he can fly too. He can wrap his strings around clouds. And that's why he was like moving. Like, he's like, bro, he's kind of like Spider-Man in a way. He's scary. He's like Spider-Man and the Joker. Yeah. He's like if Spider-Man was the Joker. Or Batman, not Batman, no. No, but you could say a little bit like Batman only because Batman came from like a rich family, you know, but he's kind of like, nah, I'm gonna focus on the criminal underground, you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what he has. Similar with Bruce, you know. But yeah, I love this fight. I love this moment. It was another highlight for me. And again, Sanji had some really fucking awesome moments, and I do love when I see this from Sanji. This is what I love about Sanji.
Yeah, I
this
agree.
is why I love him. Even though he does do things that make me love him a little less sometimes, it's not to say that I don't still have love for the man. And it's because of moments like this.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And this is where Law again is telling the crew to take Caesar and head to Zhao. Toffee's string fruit. We already did that.
He said, Zhao.
He said, go Zhao. Yeah. Momo, this is where we, you know, like you said that moment, you already kind of pointed it out. He was kind of traumatized by Doflamingo. That's why he's getting these like crazy flashbacks and is kind of paralyzed by fear. Yeah, this is when we cut back to the losers that have fallen down into the pit of toys, and we kind of see what's going on with all of them.
Really? I mean, Mingo's fucking everyone on all different levels. It's crazy how much he's able to just like
he's
cause havoc. Like, it's like everything is planned out. Everything has a bad end.
Well, because he has such other like powerful people in his regime, under his command, because not only because he's a warlord of the sea and he's a powerful guy, but because of course everybody's gonna want to be on this guy's team because he's a fucking celestial dragon.
Yeah.
Fucking shit. Everyone's gonna be jumping at the opportunity to be associated with the celestial dragon so they can get away with all this fucking bullshit too.
And everyone in the family is like, you know, I put my life on the line for him.
Yeah, the young prince or whatever the fuck they call him. He is fucking hot though.
Yeah, that's what he. That's the problem. It's like morally, you know.
It's like gray, you know. Like fuck, I know he's fucked up, but damn, fuck me up. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Damn.
This is down there when old Ricky is revealed to be King Riku.
Riku, who knew?
Yeah, you got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
But then we see, you know, talks of the trash heaps, Luffy being told about the trash heaps that remind him of home. Now, this is a brilliant foreshadowing to what's going to come a few chapters later.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh. Like, total bruh moment. I was bruhed out.
I was bruhed out, too. I was emotionally brought to my knees.
Yeah.
So we got the reveal. We already mentioned this. I'm just going through this again because so much is happening. I'm trying to really make sure that we don't forget anything major, even though I'm sure we probably still will. But the toy soldier, that's when he's revealed to be Rebecca's father.
And we get that whole backstory. We see Monet again. I mean, that was crazy. And we get to see all of these turning parts and, you know, like Doffy showing up at the windowsill like, yeah, so you got two options. You know, you could either give me the kingdom or I could sell it to you. You could sell me the kingdom. Or I'm gonna like just put you out.
Or I'm just gonna take it from you. Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, you know, let me gather all the money of the people. And he's like, this king is like so like scared. Like, I don't want anything to happen. Like, we have never been in war. Like, let's just give him all the money. And of course, it's like, even if he did that, there's no way he would have been.
No way. I mean, that was part of all his plan.
Yeah,
to
he
make
wanted
him
to be the hero.
Yes. And you know, and Monet was kind of like a Captain Kuro.
She was undercover.
She was undercover as
with
like a servant.
Glasses.
Yeah, with glasses too. That was a Kuro nod right there. But it was so cool to see that it went that far back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really emotional, honestly, during this backstory too. I know it's pretty
sad.
You know, it's a pretty, I guess, like kind of. It's not a backstory that I was like necessarily surprised by, but watching it unfold, like just hearing the villagers say, like, "What did we do wrong? Like, what did we do?" And to hear how kind this king was and this whole dynasty was, and what they did for the Tatas and what they did for the people and what they did for everybody, and how just gracious and kind and selfless of rulers they were. And to see it all turned on its head by Doflamingo, and for him to be made to look like a thief and like he had lost his mind, and then controlling him to kill everybody, it was really sad. Again, I wasn't super surprised by it. I kind of felt like that was what was going to happen or what had happened. Yeah. But seeing it really did get me.
Yeah, and the king was so emotional and so distraught, and it was just like, it was so much. And even like, you know, knowing now what we know about I think it's like, I don't know, tatas, you say tatas, tonkas or something.
But donkas or tatas? Which one
fairies,
is it?
The fairies, are like pretty much like enslaved now.
Yes.
And the toys are enslaved.
So are them.
So are they
half
too.
Half of them are there.
Half of them. I was like, oh my God.
And I think their princess is there too.
Yeah.
There's a funny line. She's like, yeah, she's annoying and she's kind of a bitch, dude, but she's our princess. She's one of us.
They're like, so you still want to save her?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Dofi's just really, he likes slavery.
Yeah, a little too much, dude.
A little too much.
Well, I mean, so do fucking celestial dragons. Celestial dragons fucking love that shit too. That's all they fucking do. If he wasn't so hot, though, If he wasn't so fucking hot.
I know. I get worked up, and then I get worked up for different reasons.
I get worked up because I'm like, they're so fucking bad, and most of them are like,
all of the celestial dragons are bad, but Doflamingo.
But they all look like fucking, they're all like, fat. What is it called? Fat, dumb, and happy, or something like that.
Yeah, they look like little turnips or something.
But Doflamingo is just so fucking hot, dude. Damn.
It's a predicament. Like, I just don't know how to feel.
I don't know how to feel. I'm torn too. I'm torn. But speaking of princesses, that's when it's revealed that Violet is the princess. And again, there was that moment too when they were talking about Rebecca's father that, the toy soldier would not answer Usopp's question, which again leads me to believe that there will be a reveal. That's because of a reveal. Violet is the princess, and they're making their last stand today because their people and all that stuff, and their people have been enslaved, and for so many reasons. But the reason that they're acting today is because of the news report. They saw the paper come out. They've been planning on it for a long time. But today was like a sign from the universe.
Robin and what is it? Yeah, Robin. Oh my gosh, freaking Usopp! Like their reactions were like, we're so sorry.
I'm so fucking sorry.
We're so sorry that we ended up coming here today. So hilarious.
This is where we get some more Law versus Doflamingo, which was crazy.
Bruh.
Go off.
He's like, why are you doing this? Why are you helping Luffy? The deed will always cause another storm. Like what?
Yeah. Like Law, dude. I mean, this fight was so. I mean, we have to go back and watch the anime. We have to watch.
I was watching a couple scenes and it's.
Oh, I heard. Tell me what you told me real quick. I think this is a good moment to bring up. When you were doing some of your research on Dressrosa, you had found online that this is kind of where the anime started to get a bad rap.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in preparation for like just the research and stuff, I just kind of see like a general consensus of like what people are talking about anime versus manga because we don't watch the anime. So I like to get a little info on that. But people
we pop in and out on the anime.
Yeah. But people, said that the anime at this time, like the pacing was bad, but also in the manga because of when it was coming out, it wasn't coming out. It was like it took 2 years or something to get all of Dressrosa. I could be wrong on that timeline. Comment if you know the exact, but just the pacing was really bad because there was like a hiatus, like Oda went on a hiatus, so it was just like grueling to get through Dressrosa, which is like all in one go. I mean, obviously it's great, but at the time when it was coming out, like super spread apart, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I could only imagine.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because people are saying like, damn, by the time you guys get to Wano will be done. So you guys kind of have like accidental perfect timing, which is it is cool. Same thing with Berserk, like kind of cool that we didn't have to wait all that time. But this fight was so cool, such a highlight. And this is when it cuts back to Frankie, and Frankie's gonna stand up for the people.
Yeah.
And Frankie has that moment where he becomes the man. I fucking love him for being.
He heard too many stories. He shed too many tears. He was over. He's done.
Over.
He's like, I'm doing
it. He's ready to fucking act.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a fuck, dude. He said, I can't turn my back on these people, and I'm not going to, so don't even bother trying to tell me not to, because this is what I'm doing.
And
this is what I'm doing.
Yes, of course. I'm with you.
And
100%.
He's like, I fucking love my captain.
Yeah.
This is when, Law gets like thrown into the city, and Luffy kind of sees him, and Dofi and the Admiral, they take Law to the palace. Law gets pretty fucked up and pretty wrecked. And
he gets shot.
This is when Big Mom's ship starts bearing down on the rest of the crew who are on the Sunny.
Like what?
Yeah. Like,
compared to the Sunny?
Like you're telling me the Big Mom's gonna come fuck shit up in this arc too? I mean, we got fucking Sabo. We got fucking all this shit. Doflamingo's a celestial dragon and Big Mom.
The Sunny's huge.
And the Big
Mom's ship is fucking an island.
Bitch is big. So she needs a big ass ship. That's a regular size ship for that Yubaba right there. That's a regular size ship for a big ass woman, a big ass mama who loves her sweets. And maybe if she laid off the sweets a little bit, she wouldn't be so big.
But she likes her sweets. I like her ship a lot.
I do too.
Yeah, it looks so cool.
I love her ship. But this is where Nami then has her fucking badass fucking moments, the 3 cards moment, which we talked about in the beginning of the episode a little bit, where, because they're like, okay, well, maybe we'll go back. Because Law's been defeated. They're all communicating over transponder snails to get everybody caught up on the status of everybody. And they're like, that's it. Law got captured. Law got defeated. We're turning back. And Nami's like, let's fucking think about this, guys. Like, Law did all this stuff to make sure that we were in possession of Caesar, that we were in possession of Momo. These are still 2 things that Doflamingo really wants. We have them. And all that they need to do is take out that factory, and then we still have a chance of winning. So let's just go. And she makes that call, and they all go to Zhao. And again, Sanji, where have you been? He steps up and asks Luffy, is it okay if I, strike Big Mom, or if I try to like make a move on Big Mom's ship? And he's like, hell yeah, dude, go for it. And everybody's like, what are you talking about?
I know. I was like, huh? You want us to die?
It was such again, though, Sanji, man, fuck, where have you been? And there's someone in the comments who's going to say,
He's always been here,
dude.
Okay.
This is when Dellinger, we see a little bit more of Dellinger, and he's trying to kill Bellamy because, of course, Bellamy's been betrayed by Doflamingo. No surprise there.
Those heels. I mean,
love it.
Those heels. And he's scary.
He really is. I love his design.
Awesome.
Like, I love his design. Or their design. Shit. I mean,
I
either
know.
way, they look fucking fly.
Yeah.
We hear about Operation SOP, which is sugar plus overwhelmed equals panic, which was very funny.
I love sugar.
And we find out more about sugar.
Yeah, of her being the
hobby.
Yeah, the hobby. And also it's crazy because she, like, her age is stunted.
That's what I was going to say.
And because you see a flashback of all of them when they first get to Dressrosa. That was cool.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
So who knows how old she is? And I think for that to even be a thing, she has to be old.
Yeah.
And she has to have seen some shit for sure. So I can't wait to find out how old she is, how long she's been around, what her deal is.
Yeah.
So while Robin and Usopp and the Tatas are, the fairies are infiltrating the factory, the toy soldier goes on his own separate mission. He takes a couple of powerful fairies with him, and he heads straight for the palace.
I love how Usopp just realizes how strong they are, and he's like, okay, I'm just going to kind of like maybe get away with not fighting. So you guys lead the way. I'll lead you to victory. Because they're strong as shit. I mean, they even make a comment about Frankie. And they're like, they're probably as strong as you. I was like, what?
Yeah, they're strong. They're strong. And I need to know more about them. We got let in on a lot about them, but I want to know more about them. But the hobby fruit freezes the user's age, man. I mean, we gotta have a theory corner. No matter how long this episode is, we gotta have. We're almost to the end. We're actually very, very close to the end. But we gotta have a little theory moment, dude. I mean, I've kind of done like you've kind of done in previous episodes. It's kind of sprinkled them throughout. But maybe it'll be a short one or just like a recap, a restating of all of our theories.
Yeah, for sure.
This is where the reunion happens.
Bro, what?
Luffy is he's looking for an exit, and he's being helped out. He's being helped to sneak. Bellamy's gonna help him sneak out, and he's getting into an argument, about what to do with the devil fruit, and Bartolomeo, Bart, just being the fucking sick ass fool that he is. I mean, you guys said he, it makes perfect sense, that maybe. Maybe I remind you of him in some way. I don't know. He's a pretty sick fool. I like him. He's sick. Thank you. But he's like, I could just win the fruit for you and I'll give it to you. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I love you. Like, I'll do whatever I got to do for you.
He's like, I was going to give it to you anyway because it's yours.
It's yours. Rightfully yours. And Luffy's like, really? Sick, dude. Hell yeah. Awesome.
I want him to be a straw hat.
I kind of do too.
I wish.
He wants to be.
Of course he would die. But he has his own crew.
He has his own crew,
And he can't leave them, but I'm sure in a heartbeat if Luffy asks.
And someone else shows up, and we don't get to see who they are, but they kind of walk up and they go, the devil fruit is mine. Like, it's mine. I'm gonna take it. And it cuts to like a full page of Luffy, just his eyes popping out of his sockets, his jaw dropping to the floor. And then it cuts to Luffy running, and I'm sure Kinemon has made them some disguises.
Yeah.
And he's just bawling his eyes out, like bawling. And no one's ever really seen him like this. Because even when he was going through all that Ace stuff, like he was separated from the Straw Hats. So they're kind of like, damn, dude, what is happening? And he's just like, through his tears, he's just like, I thought he was dead. Like, I swore he was dead. Like, he's alive. And
they show a shot of the sake.
They show the sake. They show the graves. And they're like, we gotta, I'm paraphrasing a beautiful line, but, we have to live on for him. We have to like, carry the torch for him and remember him and honor him, and it's just like this beautiful, beautiful, emotional moment. And then it gets fucking like there's a fucking giant, lush, juicy cherry on top. And it cuts to this person's assistant, who is none other than Koala from the Fisher Tiger flashback, which is so fucking awesome. And in her like little description box, she's like something of the revolution. She's like something of the Revolutionary Army and a master of fishman karate. Excuse me, Koala is a master of fishman karate. She loves them, and she's, God damn it, dude. And she's fucking like practiced in their arts and is part of the revolution, which leads me to believe that Sabo was actually rescued by Dragon.
Yeah.
And was actually there with Dragon. Yeah. And it's fucking Sabo, dude. Sabo fucking shows up.
I can't. I mean, he's literally like, she's on the phone. And that was a cool callback too, where she's like, "Are you crying?" Because remember, she's like, "I don't cry. Like, I don't want to cry because
yes,
I can't cry." And he's like, "No, I'm not crying." And like, of course, I would be fucking crying. Like, he just saw his brother after he like found out his other brother's dead. Like,
and he has a line there too, where she's like, "And this is what got me." And let me just be very clear, because of how huge One Piece is, and how being in the anime and manga space and going to places where there's a lot of anime and manga merch. We had seen, both of us had seen like figures and things of a grown Sabo. So we did know that Sabo was alive. And I don't think that it was like, in the manga, it was also like heavily implied that he was alive. And we knew he was alive. We just didn't know like when he was going to come back in, how he was going to come back in, or what that was going to mean for Luffy, what that was going to mean for him.
Or if they were alive at the same time, like he might have been alive for a little bit and then grew up and then died at some point without ever like reuniting with Luffy at all.
But just how much emotional weight it was going to have because of the line where she says, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she goes, "There's nothing you could have done. Like if you were there, like it wouldn't have changed anything. Like you can't beat yourself up." And you just know that Sabo's carrying this guilt of what happened to Ace, and Luffy was there. Luffy was there doing everything that he could do.
Literally everything
that he could do to protect Ace. To going to like these crazy
Impel
places.
Down.
Yeah. To
Marine Ford. I mean,
to save him. And I just like, for whatever reason, we don't know why, but Sabo wasn't there. And I'm sure Sabo was doing other very important things, but that he's really beating himself up or really like sad about it. Of course. And that's what got me. Yeah, it was Luffy's reaction to seeing Sabo and realizing Sabo was alive, but also Sabo's, just reflecting on like Ace's death and not being there. Like that was fucking emotional. Oh boy, that was so awesome.
Yeah, I'm so pumped. I want them to talk more.
Yes, please.
Please. I can't have it be another fucking Ace situation where they like barely talk.
Please don't let that happen.
I can't. My heart can't handle it. I can't do it.
There's just a few little teeny tiny things left before we end this section, and it's just that Frankie is causing a ruckus outside of one of the entrances, and he has his battle starts with Senor Pink. Rebecca wins. She wins.
Yay! Using her hockey. Oh no,
No,
it was
no.
Cavendish, huh?
It was Cavendish.
Yeah.
Cavendish has like a Jekyll and Hyde
You
situation
got
going on.
freaking what's his name from Demon Slayer?
Oh yeah.
Zenitsu.
Yeah, he's like Zenitsu.
Yeah.
But way less annoying.
And actually cool.
And actually cool.
Yeah.
But he has this like shadow side to him, and this evil like alter ego that only comes out when he's asleep.
Yeah, Hakuba,
and because of Hakuba, there's just chaos ensues because they think that Cavendish is like passed out, and it just allows for all these things to happen. And so Rebecca is the last woman standing, and good for her. Good for her. She still has a long way to go, and we're going to see how that pans out. But Luffy, Kinemon, and Zoro, they're led to the palace by Violet, and we see Sabo basically become Lucy and take Lucy's place and put on the gladiator helmet and put on everything, the beard and everything. So we're going to get to see Sabo fight in this arena. And that's going to be so fucking sick. And that is the end of our Dressrosa Part 1 discussion. Let's just do some theory recaps. But before that, let's do some just final thoughts on this first part.
I mean, I loved it. I loved it. And again, it is so kind of, I wouldn't say nerve-wracking, but it is like, oh my God, we're not even halfway through yet. And so much has happened. I can only imagine what's going to be revealed. More of Sabo. I am so excited. And I'm hoping maybe in the next part we'll get to see that Law backstory. I'm like literally scratching my skin for it. Like I need it now.
It's the same thing that happened with Robin, where we were like, when are we gonna get this fucking Robin backstory?
I know.
But when we did get it, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was way worse and way sadder than we could have ever imagined.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what that's going to be like. I can't even imagine, like, we'll probably see Doflamingo's, Doffy's Black Story too. So I am just ready, pumped. Dressrosa, I mean, the fights, the chemistry, the new characters. I mean, homie Bart, like, for life. Like, I need a freaking Bart, crew shirt or something. I need some merch from him. I need a freaking figure. I need figures for half of these fucking people.
Yes.
And I just am so excited, and I can't believe that we're finally here. I was looking at, usually on Viz you can scroll down and be like, okay, chapters and to see where, and like I didn't have to scroll down that much. I remember when I was like,
yeah, literally.
Yeah, to get to like 100 or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, like we're at 734.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Dressrosa was probably one of my favorite starts to an arc ever. I mean, sure, it's because of everything that was leading us here, but the way that it comes out of the gate swinging, I mean, literally swinging in a Coliseum. And like Mehgan, you said, every character that we are introduced to, not only are their designs cool, their abilities, their devil fruit abilities, like the two brothers with the jacket, fruit.
Oh my God, that was crazy because they're like, is that two and one man? I was like, bro, that's what Blackbeard, but it was another devil fruit. But I was like, bro, is that what he has?
Yeah, every single character that was introduced, their designs, their devil fruit abilities, like you'd think, I am a sucker for that sort of thing, like the tuning exams when we get to see a Naruto and we get to see a bunch of characters and their abilities and everything. I can see how that can be exhausting or overwhelming, but I fell in love with every character. I had such a good time. This fucking felt like it was moving. It was moving. Everything that was revealed, everything from the past coming back. This is what I love about One Piece. Like Punk Hazard was a good arc. It was a solid arc. But this is what I was hungry for. This is what I was thirsty for. And we haven't even, like you said, we've barely, it's still, we're at the tip of the iceberg. We're not even halfway through, and shout out Iceberg again, too. But it is one of, like I said, one of my favorite starts to an arc. I am so hyped. I am so emotional. I am so excited. I am so ready. On top of the cosplays we have planned to see Sabo come back. I was like, I got to do a Sabo cosplay, but then I'm like, everybody wants to see a Senor Pink cosplay, but I got to do Sabo, but it's like, Senor Pink would be pretty funny. But on top of
maybe we'll have a poll.
Maybe we'll do a poll.
Maybe we'll do a poll.
But just their reunion and finally getting to see Sabo come back. I mean, everything that is happening, this island of misfit toys. I love the setting. I love, like I said, I mentioned the characters and everything, but the fights, the pairings, like everything, it's starting off so strong. And I don't know anything about what's to come, but at least I'm starting to see why people might, because I know that people obviously love Wano, and I don't know all of the crazy things that were revealed in Wano, but I did get a sense for the hype for it.
Yeah.
But just to see people, even before we started reading, saying like Dressrosa over Wano, I'm not saying that because I don't know yet, but I mean, at least I'm starting to understand why someone would say that, because we're off to the races. And like I said in the very beginning, and I'll wrap it up here. This finally feels like we are in the new world. Like Fishman Island was its own separate location, and Punk Hazard was this isolated island, but it is really starting to feel like we are here. We are here, and we are in it, and we're in the thick of it, and it's moving. The sea train is moving, and it's moving fast. And it's
off the rails.
It's off the rails. I'm so in love and so fucking excited to keep reading this arc. Man, I'm gonna pass out.
You are.
And just to wrap up some of the theories, like I said, stated it throughout the episode, but I do think that age is going to come into play. I wonder if, and this is something that I didn't mention, I wonder if since the devil fruit user's age is frozen in time, I wonder then if the toys' age are also frozen in time.
That would make sense.
As well. Would this be an excuse for some people to not have aged? I mean, this could not end up being a thing at all, but just what an interesting thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Because if it affects her, it would make sense that it would affect, the people that she uses this ability on.
And it would only make sense. I mean, it would be like if they aged rapidly. I mean, when did they get there? About like 2 years?
They got there 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Yeah. So that would make sense if they like aged at 10 years.
Yeah. So I want to see what happens, because toys don't age. So I'm assuming that these people haven't aged either. And what that could mean, what that's going to mean, I don't know. We still haven't seen Kinemon's friend yet, the other samurai. We still haven't seen this guy yet. But the gladiator of the statue possibly being Rebecca's dad, who is also the toy soldier, what that's going to mean. There was another a theory. Oh, the warlord too. Wondering who this warlord is.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be someone from the worst generation. That's what I'm going to say. I think never trust something unless Eustace Kid has explicitly stated, I am not a warlord of the sea, then I know better to not assume he's not. But it doesn't really seem like it would fit into his character. But then again, it might, because he might be able to get away with more shit and take advantage of the government by being closer to
I
the
have
government.
a feeling that that Big Mom's crew is going to kidnap the Straw Hats and the Sunny and take them to Whole Cake Island and not to Zhao.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. Very interesting.
Or maybe she follows them there. Maybe they have a little skirmish and then they dip, part their ways. But I don't see them getting away that easily from her.
And if that Smile Factory does get destroyed, then that's going to make, I think, Momonosuke, or people have corrected us on the pronunciation.
Alexander Art said it's like Sasuke. So it's like Momo.
No, Sasuke?
Sasuke, like how you pronounce Sasuke.
Instead of Sasuke?
Yeah.
So it's like
Monosake.
Monosake. Anyway,
sorry.
The significance of
we still got it wrong.
Of his devil fruit being a Vegapunk devil fruit, not a Caesar clown devil fruit. And if the Smile Factory, if that does end up getting destroyed, is Momo going to be even more sought after, because he kind of has that inside of him, and if he gets killed, then does that
I don't know.
Follow the same rules?
Yeah. It might not. It might. Maybe that's why they're so adamant about getting him and holding him. If the Smile Factory does fall apart, does crumble, Kaido's gonna be fucking pissed. Yeah. Pissed, and he can point exactly to who did it. The Straw Hats. Yeah. Holy fucking shit, man. You guys didn't tell us that Dressrosa goes this fucking hard.
Anyway, these are just some random predictions, some random theories. Going forward, who knows? We're maybe, we're shooting in the dark right now, but they're all shot in the dark. But, it's just fun to put them out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to do it for our part one.
I'm going to pass out. Oh my God, breathe.
That's going to do it for our part one discussion. Stay tuned next week for our part two discussion. And we're trying to get a guest for our part three. If it doesn't happen, we haven't been able to establish contact with the person we have in mind yet. Hopefully, fingers crossed it happens, but if it doesn't, it's still going to be amazing, and it's still going to be fucking lit, and we're still going to have some pretty awesome cosplays for you, hopefully for the next and the next one after that, for part two and part three.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Don't hold us to it, but definitely, I've already teased the Doffy one for long enough that it has to come, probably in part three, most likely in part three, but part two, you're going to want to stay tuned. And maybe we'll have to put a poll up for if it's going to be Sabo or Senor Pink, or maybe we'll leave it up to mystery. Either way, thank you as always for just being here. Thank you for watching and listening all the way to the very end. Before we go, though, we do have to shout out and we do have to thank our wonderful, our beautiful, our amazing Patreon members and our YouTube members. Thank every single one of you for all of your support. Your support means the absolute fucking world to us. It gives us the financial freedom to take the time, especially with arcs like this that have so much going on, to take that time to prepare and to give us more time to read, because you've given us the financial freedom to be able to do that, so we can spend our time now doing this and have more time to do it in, on top of just like the cosplay that you've funded and equipment that you funded, everything and everything you're listening to and seeing, the production value and the quality of the show, down to what we're able to cover, how we're able to cover it, and what we use to do it all, is all because of our Patreon members and our YouTube members.
Yes.
And just like out of the kindness of your heart that you guys choose to donate to us means the absolute fucking world to us. It means so much to us. You guys mean so much to us that you do that you support us. Like I sometimes stammer and I fumble through these things because I never want to read this shit off a script, because you guys deserve that. At least you guys deserve some shit from the heart every single episode, because because of what you do for us, and we are both so grateful, eternally grateful for you and your support. So thank you from the bottom
so much
of our hearts.
For real, yeah. From the we're consistently just blown away. And we literally would not be able to do this.
Yeah, from the deepest depths of my
heart. Kokoro.
That was hard. It was like a tongue twister. Deepest depths of my heart. Yeah. That was hard. Anyway, yeah. Thank you guys so much. Anyway, if you would like to become a Patreon and YouTube member and you're not one already, that's fine. If you want to become one, it's very simple. It's very easy. All you got to do to become a Patreon member is go to patreon.com/volume1pod, or to become a YouTube member, all you got to do is click join on this video. Both things give you the same perks, which are early access to all of our episodes and access to our exclusive bonus Patreon podcast, Volume 1 Extra, where we talk about all kinds of things anime and manga related, and also outside of anime and manga, TV shows, movies, anything and everything that we're consuming, and just more behind the scenes stuff, more personal things we talk about on that podcast as well. All those perks are available at our lowest tier on both places. Once again, that's patreon.com/volume1pod, and clicking join on this video to become a YouTube member. And just one more really, please allow me this really quick shout out to everybody who's been showing up to the community lives too, and has been donating money to the cosplay fund and stuff like that.
And just showing up. I mean, there's so much fun, and we love to talk about everything and everything. Having guests on, we just had Chaz on. If you haven't watched that, we talk about the One Piece card game.
So sick. Such a great guy. Such a great guest.
And yeah, we want to obviously continue them, and we're just so thankful for you guys showing up and supporting us.
And the support there too, the support by showing up and hanging out, but also like I said, the cosplay funds. There are people donating there specifically to that, has been so monumental and helpful too.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah, we literally wouldn't be able to do all these things without you and without that. So you add so much to this show with your generosity, and we really appreciate it. And then the other thing that I never shout out, but just in case you're curious, you can click on some merch down below too.
Oh.
And we have some done piece shirts and hoodies and stuff. And we've seen some pictures that people have sent to us who've bought those and are rocking them, and they look sick.
They look so cool.
It's the done piece, the new world done piece.
I need
artwork.
that red hoodie.
I want that red hoodie too. It's too hot right now, but you can also get it on a shirt.
Yeah.
So you can support us, whether you want to support through the Patreon or the YouTube memberships or the donations or the merch. Those are all ways you can financially support, but do not worry if you're not at a place where you can financially support, or you just flat out don't want to. That's fine too. I was captain of the Broke Boy Club for 99.9% of my life, okay? And I'm still not all the way out of that club. But if you're not at a place right now where you can afford to support financially, there are plenty of other ways you could show your support that mean absolutely just as much to us that you could do for free $99 that Mehgan will tell you all about right now.
Yes, if you have no money to spare, if you're not able to support us financially, you can definitely help us out by just commenting, liking, sharing this video. It helps us out. It helps out our algorithm. It really does. I know everyone says that, but it really, really does. Become a part of the algorithm gang, and just comment anything. You can comment an emoji, a period, algorithm gang, and it acts as a free tip to us, and it really helps us out a lot. If you can't support us financially, that's one way you could support us, and it's super easy, super free, and super fun.
And super fun. Also, if you're listening on an audio platform, rating us, sharing this video. If you're watching on YouTube with another One Piece fan, and watching and listening all the way to the very end, till this very moment, helps out so much too. It's a tremendous, tremendous help. So thank you guys for any and all support, no matter how you choose to show it. It all means the world to us. We are eternally grateful.
Yeah.
But that is going to do it for another Done Piece episode and the end of Dressrosa Part 1. Stay tuned next week, like I said, for Part 2 and Part 3 after that. The only thing left to do now, though, is to get out of here on our outro. That is always the same and never changes, which today, Mehgan, is... we got Doflamingo, we got Rebecca, we got Lucy. But I feel like...
dress roast ya. Had to dress roast ya.
Had to dress roast ya. Something about like Law and Robin. Like that was a pretty fun little road we went down. We could do Celestial Dragon, the reveal of the Quixotes.
I don't know.
This is a hard
stadium.
Coliseum, the battle, the toys.
It's
always a song with you.
It's finally Dressrosa.
It's like a Coliseum battle. I don't hate it.
It's finally Dressrosa.
You're committed. Okay. I mean, I feel like.
I'm like providing.
Like, I know you're like providing. I know you're like providing.
You,
I know you're just like providing.
You've literally just like named people.
I've named things because that's how it works. I give you I set you up, you knock them down.
And then I say something, and you're like, "Oh no, it's not good. Let's think of another one."
I didn't say it's not good. I said it's good, but I think we could do better. And by we, I mean you. Just kidding. I love it. And
do you have one?
I don't. I hardly ever do because it's hard. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right. That's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time,
it's finally Dressrosa. It's finally Dressrosa.
Part 1. Stay tuned for Part 2 and Part 3. Coming soon to a video near you.